That's right, Bikaholics. This episode is brought to you by our friends over at Biker Planet. It's more than just the largest niche biker dating site. It's an entire social community of bikers. Make sure to check it out via our custom link so you can get all the perks. lawabidingbiker.com/bikerplanet. And now, straight from the Law Abiding Biker Media Studio,
out of sunny Yakima, Washington,
we bring you another episode of the
#1 listen to motorcycle podcast.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
Oh, you guys know what time it is.
It's time to get ill.
Jake, you see me? I'm rocking my head, but I'm not hitting my earphones on the mic this time, bro. Wasn't I here last time when I did that?
And you made the noise, the twang.
Twang. Yeah, dude. Oh, guys, we got a special episode. All you out there in the Blabosphere, we really appreciate you joining in. We are on Blab. Obviously, we're going to chat in Blab. We're going to open up some seats. We're going to do all kinds of stuff for this special episode. It is the 100th episode anniversary. A lot of work went into it. We're so glad to see everybody tuning in on Blab. And we've got some great stuff for you in store. Feel it. That's right, guys. We're going to continue the Law Abiding Biker podcast into the future. It's part of what we call, obviously, the biker revolution. You guys are part of it. We're over the 100th episode hump now, and we're going to keep rocking out with our cock. No?
Well, with whatever you want to rock out with. Whatever you got.
Oh, that's Lurch. There we go. Oh, I'm getting everything set up, guys. I know. There we go. It's a longer intro than usual. That's right, guys. Ryan Erlacher here, your host of the Law Abiding Biker podcast, and of course, your high-tech redneck. I said it for myself. I got a whole studio full. I'm just going to open it up and kind of let you guys know who right now, and we may have some others pop in, but we do have none other.
Yeah, Big Daddy in the house. Come on, girl, and give me a smile.
What the hell? You got to work on your rap game, son.
He just wanted to say, and get her wetty.
You might hear that later on in this podcast.
Oh my God. And then the guy, the man, the myth, the legend, who has a badass song too.
Love this song.
Jakey.
Yeah.
What do you have to say? Anything?
Happy to be here. 100.
Dude, I'm glad you could be here. It's really freaking awesome, man. And Jakey's always stepping up to the place, or the plate, I should say, and joining in whenever he can get up here and get a mic in front of it. And we appreciate it so much. Okay, of course, my producer extraordinaire in the house that does all the audio. Live. You heard it right here from Lurch over in the corner there. Rick's head is blocking you a little bit. You got some claps for that on Blab, by the way.
Your big head's blocking the camera.
No, you're okay.
Don't worry about it, bro.
You're perfect. No, Rick, don't move, please. Just stay right there. It's just because you were leaning way forward. You're actually, if you move any farther, you're going to be out of frame. So you guys can see on Blab Live, we're doing this special episode. Make sure everyone that's listening to this in podcast format later, it's going to be a long episode. And I know people are going to come and go. We get that. But it's going to be an extra long episode because we got a lot to talk about, and it's just going to be kind of a BS session about where we came from, where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Some of the reminiscing. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff that's happened, a lot of things we didn't know was going to happen, and a lot of stories. My producer extraordinaire, Lurch, is taking care of all this. He's actually responsible for putting this 100th episode together, and he mapped it all out, and he spent a lot of time getting old sound bites from old episodes. We're going to have a lot of fun with those guys. We're going to take you guys back for a little ride.
A little dream sequence there.
A little dream sequence. And so we're going to have some fun with that. We are real quick, if you guys want to get on the live email list, make sure you head over to lawabidingbiker.com/live. And somebody's feeding back there. Jake's up and running with Bob.
Jake.
I got it off.
Can't take you anywhere.
We're good to go now.
Make sure you get signed up. The only thing over there on the page, live page in the upper right-hand corner is a sign up. It's an email list. The only thing that you'll get on that email list. That particular email list is when we are going live. I send you an email. I put a big button on it, whether we're audio live, whether we're video live. You hit that big watch live or listen live button, and bada bing, bada bang, at that time, it takes you directly to the platform that we are going to be live on. I keep it really easy. So get signed up over there, lawabidingbiker.com/live, upper right-hand corner, and you'll be all hooked up with the live. I'm going to tell you how this guys going to go that are listening live and not later in podcast format. We are going to open up some seats, and Jake's actually requested a seat, but I'm not going to give Jake a effing seat because he's right here. You already have a seat on my couch, so I'm locking the seat. So you guys will see him Blab. We're going to do a lot of stuff, but we're going to bring you guys in to the conversation as we can. And so what we're looking for, there's going to be some giveaways for people that do get in the Blab seat, and it's going to be random. We actually have a list of items and gifts that we're probably going to send out. Not everybody that comes in the live Blab will get it. It's based on numbers. How did you explain it, Lurch?
Well, when you used to go to conferences and stuff, they'd put little stickers underneath your seat, and everybody'd have to stand up and look underneath their seat and see if they won a prize. Well, we've done that. If you come in and join in and grab a seat in the Blab, you might have something underneath your seat. You might win a prize.
Wow. Nicely said.
And I'm just going to get it out of the way. I'm getting over a head cold, so if I sound a little funny, I apologize.
You look funny.
Well, I always look funny. I always look funny.
BD Kane over there, I don't think he used to he used to wipe his boogers under his seat. Is he one of those kids?
No, didn't do the booger under the seat, but maybe on the side of the cop seat. I don't know.
Right, maybe. Exactly. Yeah.
I do have a little JD, honey, and lemon over here mixed together.
Attaboy.
It'll fix what ails you.
And that's how dedicated the crew is here, guys. Obviously, you guys know we're operating on a peanut budget to keep this thing going, and we appreciate it so much, and it's getting better with all the patron support. But here, these guys are here because they just love the biker community, the law-abiding biker community, and they're putting in their time and coming up here to the studio. Of course, after this nice event, we're going to have a nice dinner. I have ribs and some steaks, and a couple of the wives are over here, and we're just going to have a nice little dinner after this episode. So that's how, fortunately, I can pay him a little bit. And Jakey, what do you think of that?
Oh, I'm excited. I need some really good food today.
Well, I've got it for you, buddy.
You just got done running a 4-miler, didn't you? Frosty 4?
Yeah. I was not as prepared as I would have hoped for that, but yeah, it was a good time.
You survived. You're here. You're alive.
Yeah, I survived and I finished.
And now you're making up for the calories you lost in beer.
Yeah, I'm not going to be gaining much today, I don't think.
The way you lose weight is that you're taking less calories than you burn. Mm-hmm. So if you're drinking beer and eating steak and ribs, I think you're probably going to go the other way and gain some weight tonight.
We really realize the only reason I run is so I can drink. I run to drink, that's it.
Well,
attaboy.
Good.
Attaboy, leave it to Jakey. Good plan. Good diet plan, bro. So we are going to have this open seat, and if you guys want to join, we basically are looking for, you can get on and say hi, and we're going to have to keep it, rather brief, but you can say hi. You can tell us how much you hate us, how we suck, whatever you want to tell us, and basically how you found us. And we might ask just a few questions, and then, like I say, there will be some giveaways. If you do try to join, I'll have to look at that seat on Blab, and we might be in the middle of something, so you'll have to just be patient. It's kind of like just phone call in where you get put on hold, and I'll just have to keep you on hold till we can fit you in. But just know that you guys in the chat room, that live seat, you just go over and ask to join, and we'll try to get you on live Blab here as we can. Lurch, why don't you tell me, because you brought up this idea, kind of what spurred because I know it's been a lot of extra work for you, brother, and I appreciate it, putting all those sound bites, dude, and just going through. You probably listen to so much audio, dude.
The last couple of weeks I've gone through all the podcasts that we've done and listened for things to pull out, and I really focused on some of the first 10 to 15 episodes, just to kind of go back in the day, if you will, go back to where we started from. I just noticed that in doing the podcast that we were sneaking up on our 100th episode, and so I made the suggestion to you that we make kind of a big deal out of it.
Mm-hmm. How was it going through all that audio, dude?
It was fun listening to some of the old stuff. Cuz isn't here, unfortunately. We invited him, but he wasn't able to make it today, but we've got some clips from him. And in the early days, he would have a little too much whiskey and just start rambling stuff and talking over top of you and interrupting you. It's pretty funny to listen to those old podcasts. And listen to the poor audio quality because we didn't have the limiter gates and all the software that we have now. It was a good hoot. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate all the hard work. Just so you guys in Blab, just so you can see all four of us, this is as wide as angles we can get. I'm just using a webcam. Eventually, down the road, if we do get more patron signups and funds, we could do more of a wide angle live streaming with I have professional video cameras, but it's got to be converted. I won't get into the techie stuff, and I can do all that, but I got to have money to buy that live streaming gear. And then, of course, we might be able to get a wider angle. But we're using Blab because it's free, and I'm using a webcam because I already had it, and it gives you guys some sense of everybody. Because a lot of time when I do Blab, it's just on me because it's just me and Rick is remote. And so that's easy because it's just my face. But trying to fit the whole studio and everybody into the image on Blab, it really crops it down. You can see there. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely not as wide as that camera can go. It's just as wide as Blab will allow us to go with it. So it really limits us. So just for identification purposes, I'm going to wave my hand and I'm going to look over at the camera. That's right. Ryan Erlacher here, your high-tech redneck in this seat over here, running multiple monitors and computers and mixers. You guys can't see half the equipment because it's blocked by a monitor, but this is a lot that I've got to run back here, but I think I can handle it. As soon as I have a few more sips of whiskey, I'll be fine. Okay, Big Daddy is going to wave at you. Look right into that camera. Let him see your pretty eyes. Attaboy. Attaboy. Blow him a kiss, dude, so they give you claps. Everybody, we better see some claps for that right there. Oh, yeah, here comes the claps, dude. Sweet. And what do you got? Something to say? What's up?
Well, I was just going to say that it's cool to be here. I'm relatively new, the last year and a half, 2 years, but we've been working all morning. Busy morning, guys, working on some store stuff. So glad I was able to stick around.
So just to mention that real quick, because we're just going to ramble. People love hearing whatever. They send us emails all the time. Big Daddy today, before the podcast, he's, just so you guys know, all the products you order on the Law Abiding Biker physical storefront, not the videos. I'm still handling that, me and Lurch. But the physical products, the biker gripper, and I'll let the Biker Boom headset, I'll let you do a brief real quick about that in a second. We've got the new, it's only been out a couple days, the Biker Boom headset. We've got shirts. We've got support gear over there. We've got the Titan lifts. We are a Titan lift and wheel chalk distributor. Anyways, I don't have enough time. I'm still working, obviously, my full-time LEO job, and then I'm doing that, and then I'm coming in here in the studio and working 14 to 16-hour days on I've been off for the last 3 days, and I've put in literally 16-hour days. I can't run the physical store anymore, so I've given that all to Rick. So he's a intricate piece of the puzzle here at Law Abiding Biker, and a very motivated individual, and a really couldn't think of a lot of people that are not in this room that I couldn't trust to take over the physical store. So when you guys have interactions and things at the store and all that, just know who's behind that, because it's important to me when I purchase stuff to know who's behind that. And you'll know that Big Daddy is running it. He's shipping it. He's ordering. He's making sure he's responding to, getting lots of claps for that. He's getting lots of, any kind of, if there were to be an issue, he's going to be the guy you're communicating with, and know that I wouldn't put it in his hands if I didn't trust he could keep the relationship with the Bikaholics out there and make it that different experience from all the other online stores as we grow. That's what we're trying to do. Put a face to a store instead of just ambiguous motorcycle stores up on the internet. We really want it to be a personal experience. So anyways, with that, why don't you, Rick, real quick, just a brief, and we're going to do a video on it. It is in the store. And while you're doing that, I'll put up a link to that actual product for him.
Yeah, we worked with a U.S. manufacturer to come out with a half-helmet headset, 7-pin, that goes into the 7-pin port that you would have on an Ultra Limited. But the cool thing is you can actually buy a $70 adapter so that you can use it on your Street Glide or your Ultra Classic. And so for $70 plus the cost of our headset, which is a lot less expensive than our competitor at the dealership, you can access everything you want to do with your bike. You got the voice recognition, access, GPS, everything. So geez, man. You guys tease me. I didn't bring one up. And but anyhow, you can access all the full capabilities that the Boom audio system allows. And so I'm excited about it. And we've gotten some awesome reviews. We've had employees of Lab, friends of Lab, and some patrons review it already. And they've told me, man, the phone volume, the phone calls, absolutely fantastic. Clear as day. The music sounds good. And when you're comparing with Bluetooth systems where this person was, and he says didn't have all the wind noise or anything, he said everybody should have one of these, and I'm going to definitely keep them in stock. So I'm excited. I hope you guys give it a shot for $69.95. It's a made in the USA product, and it's coming from us, and we tested it for about 3 months before we even thought about putting it in the store.
Half the price of the Harley-Davidson headset, and it has more features and it works better, guys. And we're not just telling you that. We wouldn't have brought it to our store if it didn't. I put a link in the Blab. It takes you right to it if you want to look at it. We're going to do a tutorial video on it. We just don't have that out yet, and it will be embedded right there on the listing page. There is another video there about Bluetooth headsets. You can watch that if you want, but check that product out. And like I say, I just want to publicly tell you guys, Rick, I couldn't think, man, he's gung-ho, he's sharp, and he knows inventory. He has a background in that, and he's very organized. And so I literally 100% am handing everything over to him. And we have that, not only a friend relationship, but we have a wonderful business relationship like that. And so it's awesome. It's awesome to be able to do that with friends where those lines, aren't, we understand each other, and we would never let friendship get in the way of that. We really, our main goal is to get stuff out to the Bikaholics out there. And so
just did 17 orders this morning. So everybody who's ordered in the last couple of days, they'll be going out Monday. And don't forget the new shirts. Jake's wearing one. I don't know if Jake.
Oh yeah, shop shirts. Thanks, brother.
See it in there, but I'll let you explain that, or I can.
No, go ahead. I'm going to put up a link.
We had so many people emailing us, and I know that Lurch saw a lot more emails than I ever did. For the last 2 years, people have been saying, "Man, those are badass shop shirts that you guys are wearing in your videos. Why don't you put them up for sale? Why don't you put them up for sale?" So with Ryan not really needing more work to do, that's kind of how the store thing started. It started with the Boom headset, the Biker Boom headset, and then it went over to the shirts. And so now we have a limited run right now of the mechanic shirts or shop shirts, but we will be ordering more. It's just a matter, we're not going to run out, or if we do, they're selling those. So if you want one, you need to hurry up and get on it and get it right now, so that I assume probably by next week I'm going to have to be ordering some more.
Yep. Good. I'm glad you mentioned that, Jakey. So we're going to keep going around the room. We see how we get sidetracked. And somehow it was somebody in the chat room told me, and I don't even have, what'd you do with my notepad, you jackwagon?
Oh, there was a notepad down below. I wonder if he took it downstairs with him.
I'll get by.
Yeah, I probably
my
did.
Damn notepad. I've got other paper here and a pen if I absolutely need it.
They want to see my shirt.
Yeah. So we're going to go around the room, and Jakey, why don't you show them, just wave at him so they can see. This is Jake Justice over here. He's kind of blocked by Big Daddy's head. There you go. He's wearing the shop shirt, you see. Doesn't he look sexy, guys? We better see some claps. Oh, look at the claps, dude.
Turn around.
Oh, my God.
Around. Yep. Show
look
that
at that ass. Oh, my God. That doesn't. Do you even have an ass, dude? All I see is your back, and then it slopes off, dude. Do you have an ass?
How's his pants even stay up?
Hey, I'll tell you this, guy.
He suffers from Nacidol.
Explain Nacidol, dude.
Nacidol? He's got no ass at all. He suffers from Nacidol.
My wife calls mine back with crack.
Back with crack. I like it, dude.
Those shirts, dude, you guys all know if you go to a Harley dealership or you go to a brewery or you go to any kind of specialty deal, those shop shirts are like $40 to $50. We negotiated an awesome deal on those. So there, I mean, you tell me where else you can get a high quality red cap shop shirt for $30 plus tax or plus shipping. So that's a phenomenal deal, and we wanted to bring that out to you.
And that's how we roll here, guys. We could certainly charge way more for the products we had. We could charge on that headset about the same as Harley, a little less, and people would still buy it. But we really sit down and look, and Lurch knows we could sell those t-shirts for a lot more. Of course we could, guys. But it's a fine line between making sure we can cover and make a little bit, but yet keeping it very reasonable for you guys and not marking up stuff 300% like other stores do. And so there's a fine line there, but that's why we are really trying with this store to keep things, because we care about the bikers. Of course, we need to make some for operation and to continue this deal, but we also don't want to rip bikers off like a lot of companies we see do out there in the motorcycle industry. So hopefully you guys realize that. That's why we can keep those shop shirts. We work hard at setting up deals so we can get them at a cheaper price, which in the long run brings them cheaper to you, but never sacrificing quality on that. Matt, why don't you say hi? Lurch is over here. Give a big wave to the camera.
So what's going on there, buddy? Can you see me?
Yep. That's Lurch's. Oh, yeah, we can see you. That's
Big Daddy's head's out of the way now.
It is. If he leans back a little bit like that, you're getting claps for that. We're up to 169, 175. All right.
Wow.
Wow. What else? What else, guys? Yes. Anything? I've got a lot of material. I just want to make sure. Jakey, you got anything? Otherwise, I'm going to move on to material.
I'm like Rick. I haven't been involved in this very long. Just probably since 2014 is when I first started in here. And so it's been fun. I'm probably the least mechanically inclined of this whole group.
That's true.
I've learned a lot and continue
Is it really?
to.
Or is there one more?
There's one more. I think he lives out by you.
But I love the podcasts. They're fun. No, I have a great time doing these podcasts. I mean, I'm on the ones that are not so much about the mechanical aspects, but I'm learning so much from all this.
He looks confused. Maybe you should give him his favorite soundbite.
Give him the sound clip. Do it.
Well,
Oh, geez.
What does he need?
You know.
Oh,
I know you're looking for it.
No, you can't set me up like that, dude, to keep doing that to Jakey.
He looked confused for a second.
Yeah.
And we've said before, he's probably the smartest one of all of us.
Absolutely.
He was a teacher, and then he gets stuck with that. You're so dumb.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care.
You're fucking dumb. You're dumb.
I do like that.
Poor Jakey. No, Jake, it's been very awesome having you involved. And Jake brings a different aspect. Obviously he's learning the mechanical. He's very mechanical. He used to work on a farm and care for goats.
Actually, there were sheep, and he had Velcro gloves.
Yes.
And he had
sheep.
Tall boots, so he could stick the sheep's back legs in his boots. And then he had the Velcro gloves, so they couldn't get away. Aren't you from Idaho or something like that? Weren't you?
Oh yeah.
There you go. That's how they play. That's how they roll in Idaho.
Oh, poor Jake. He gets the brunt, but we love him. And, Jake is very mechanical. He's just learning more of the motorcycle side of stuff, and he's very good at being in the videos whenever I ask when he's available. And so he's learning that side of it. But Jake brings a lot of other stuff. Like I say, every host in this, as we've started it, brings something different and a different aspect. And Jake was really good with the Sons of Anarchy. He was really into that when we did all those episodes. We may have time to talk about that later. And then also Jake, he likes we did the helmet episode and the ECE and Snell. He looks. I like about Jake is I send him notes and he actually looks at them and researches, and he comes prepared to at least talk I have to do the same thing on a lot of this stuff. I spend hours researching, so I at least can relate it in a way that bikers can understand. Well, Jake's really good at that, and then he likes the legal stuff too, and he likes the clubbing stuff, like we won't get into, but the recent Colorado shooting. Mm-hmm. Right. He likes that kind of stuff and to review and debate and things like that. So brings a really good,
He is a master debater.
He is a master debater for sure.
And he's always available in the summertime for a ride, it seems, for me. So I like that too.
All right. With that, should we let's do this. We got some audio clips here we're going to play and let's just play this audio clip and then we'll take it. Let's just go ahead and start taking it back. I don't see anybody in the Blab seat, so we're just going to take it on back to where we all started. Can you feel it?
Oh, I feel it. I got a tingle in my nether region.
I wish I had a licorice dispenser right now.
What?
A licorice dispenser.
Okay, now wait a minute. I don't know what the hell that means.
From Wayne's World. They go dream sequence.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
A licorice dispenser.
That's right. You're right.
It makes me want some licorice.
Okay.
Some Bohemian Rhapsody, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's listen to this. Law-Abiding Biker Podcast, Episode 1, Numero Uno, March 14, 2013. Yup. That's right. You made the journey here. Welcome. Welcome to the Lab Podcast, the official law-abiding biker podcast, where we talk about the world of motorcycling, motorcycles, ride reviews, equipment reviews, motorcycle laws and issues, motorcycle clubbing, motorcycle news, motorcycle television, and media smartphone app reviews. And so much more. I remembered it. No mistake about it, folks. This is a podcast for any
law-abiding motorcycle enthusiast.
Nice try.
Darn.
We are the majority, after all, of motorcyclists. That is, the 99%ers. And we are who the motorcycling industry looks to and relies upon. So get ready, put your kickstand up, roll that throttle back, and hang on as we come at you with another Lab podcast. Welcome, folks. I'm Ryan, and I'm going to be your host today.
There you go, dude.
I think your voice has almost a porn star quality back then. Man,
I think his nuts finally dropped.
Must have been the mustache. The porn stash.
You button hook. I didn't know you were going to button hook me.
Anyways,
Before we get into that, let me mention something, because Jim Demetrius just mentioned it again. He says 100 patrons, and it's our 100th episode. Another thing that he mentioned on Facebook a day or two ago.
Time out. Keep that thought.
Or are we going to talk
I thought
about
we
that later?
We weren't at 100 patrons, are we?
Yeah.
Holy cow, dude.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know we hit the 100. See,
Yeah.
So if I look up Patreon right now, we have 100?
Go look. I think we're over 100.
Okay.
As Ryan's
This is
looking
old
that up.
news, man. This was on the private patron page like 3 days ago.
I've been a little busy getting ready for this.
As you're looking that up, I think he called you Ryan Nostradamus because you did a 75th episode on the 75th anniversary of Sturgis. You announced that the club was going and the guys from Law Abiding Biker are going, and you announced the meetup. So 75, now we're at 100 and 100.
wow.
Ryan Nostradamus is what Jim was referring to you as.
Dude, that's sweet. I'm just bringing this up, and Jim is a patron of ours, guys. Hey, Jim, but this is what I'm showing. Let me move this around for you.
Where are we at?
That's what I'm showing.
Oh, you know what? I think it was in the Facebook group. It might have been 100 plus in the Facebook because that includes some of us.
Correct.
Yeah, there you go.
I got you. Because, we're 96 patrons, which is just phenomenal. And we are going to talk about patrons a little bit later in the experiences. Yes. But
I just brought it up because they were talking about it on the Blab.
That's sweet, guys.
So on the Facebook, there's 100. There's like 103 people now on the private Facebook, and that's because it includes us and a few friends.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
There are some people in there that are lab crew and whatnot. So that private Facebook group, of course, the only way to get in it, guys, is to become a patron and pledge a certain amount per piece of content. That's right. Mm-hmm. No risk. You can put a monthly cap on it, guys, and they all know that. And that's why the show's still going. So we'll talk about patrons who are near and
sorry
dear.
to sidetrack you.
No, it's awesome stuff. Please do that. And please monitor the chat because that's what this live experience is all about. And again, we have open Blab seats. If you got the cojones to ask for a seat, we'll let you in. You can say hi, how you found us, your name. And we do have a few random giveaways if you happen to be the one with that sticker under your seat. We got some cool giveaways, but I know not everybody's comfortable live and their face in front of there, and we're not going to embarrass you. We're not going to make fun of you. Just you can say how you found us.
At least not on the live. We won't talk about live. Maybe we'll joke later.
Right. Exactly. We'll wait till you're off, and then we'll talk shit behind your back. That's what we'll do.
Hey, go back to, before I interrupted you, about episode 1, how this whole thing started.
Yeah. Does anybody in this studio off the top of your head remember the exact date that the first episode went out?
I know we used it as a trivia question one time. I want to say it was May.
I can't believe this because there's patrons out there.
May 7th, 2013.
May 7th, 2013. That's Lurch's. What do you say? Jakey, do you have a guess? I know you.
That was before I even knew you guys, so I know it was in 2013.
Can you please do that in the form of a question, or I'm going to disqualify you?
What is?
Oh no, not this again.
What is May 25th, 2013?
May 25th. May 7th?
I said 7th.
May 25th for Jake. What say you, Big Daddy?
I'm going to go with May 5th, 2013.
Did
May
you say
right?
what is? Did you start it with a what is?
Whoa. What is this game? What?
It's Jeopardy.
Oh.
You answer it in the form of a question.
I just barely learned how to do a three-way call. And you want me to remember all these game shows?
Yeah, that's...
He's been busting my balls all for 3 days because I didn't... He goes, you can do a website, but you can't do a three-way call.
I'm going to change my guess.
No, you cannot look at the chat room, and you cannot cheat off Mark McDermott, because Mark McDermott just put, I cannot believe this, you fools. I love you though.
We're close, at least.
That was just not, I thought one of you would get it, dude. At least one of you.
That was a failure of epic proportions.
Big time. Just saying, dude. Yes. Mark McDermott is right in the chat room, in the Blab chat room. It was March 15th of 2013. You guys were skirting all around it, teasing it, and but you weren't quite getting down to business. You were just all around it.
Story of my life.
Just tickling it a little bit, but didn't get the job done.
Exactly, dude. You're just all around it. So March 15th, 2013, and Mark McDermott got it, and that is awesome. And he's a patron. And another guy we shipped some stuff to today, right?
Yep, I just shipped him out his shirt and his headsets.
That's right. So Mark McDermott. Okay, we got some call-ins here, and then let's take a call-in, and then we can get back to dream sequence.
All right,
sound good. Let's take we're looking at two. Let's Yannick, we see you in there, and Ben Spadaro came up first. So. Let's take Ben Spadaro, and then we'll see about doing another one. Here we go.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey Ben, good to see your face, buddy.
How you guys doing?
Good, man. Just having a blast here in the studio. Thanks for being involved. Everybody wave at Ben. Can you see us in the studio? Everybody's waving at you, Ben.
Yep, I can see it.
Hey, appreciate you coming on and getting involved in the live Blab here. What do you got? If you don't have anything to say, I got a couple. Yeah, go ahead.
Check him out, man. He's got his headphones on. He's professional. He's ready to rock and roll.
I know, dude. That's our community.
He's got his cans on. He's got his cans on.
Absolutely. Actually, that's more to block out the Xbox games that are happening in the living room behind me. So
I see. Where are you from, Ben?
Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Centerville, Mass.
Okay, awesome, man. What's the weather there like right now? Oh, look at he's holding up a Coors. He's a man. Yeah, attaboy, a CL, man. Look at that, Jakey.
A banquet beer? I can't see it. He's got a banquet beer?
No, it's same thing, man. Same thing.
Here we go. All right.
The mountains.
Unfortunately, snowy. We just got about 5 inches dumped on us yesterday.
Okay. Well, you're in our game that we're playing right now. We've got snow here. It hasn't snowed in a couple days, but we've finally the roads are clearing off a little bit. What are you riding? What kind of bike?
I have a 2015 Road Glide Special.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, nice. What color did you get?
Nice.
Black denim.
All right. Sweet.
And I was eyeballing that black denim. I like that red pinstripe that's on it. Looks pretty badass.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm not a huge fan of chrome, so I'm trying to make everything else on it black now as well.
Sweet. Who else were we talking to in a recent episode that might not have aired yet that had a black denim with the red stripes? Who was that? Okay, we're drawing blanks again. These guys. No, we were talking to some. Maybe you guys weren't on. Was
it Florida?
Yeah, I think it was.
It was during the. We just released it the other day.
Oh yeah. He had a black one. Yeah, that's awesome. And so hey, yeah, go ahead, Ben.
The only problem with the denim is if you scratch it, and I have already, it's there. That's it. It's there for life.
Yeah, my old 2011 Street Glide Special was black denim, and I love it. Me personally, I just won't get denim again because although it seems like it's less maintenance, and it wasn't because it frickin' showed everything compared to my amber whiskey painted when it hides all the dust and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time out in the garage cleaning it. Not that that's a bad thing, but...
Right. Yeah. Hey, you're spending time with your bike. That's good. Hey, Ben, how did you tell us your experience? How did you find and come across Law Abiding Biker? How long have you been listening to the podcast and watching the YouTube channel stuff?
I came across it, I want to say probably about a year ago, maybe a little longer. I listened to a fair number of podcasts. I used to commute for a very long way, getting back and forth to work. So I've been, riding motorcycles most of my life. So looking for podcasts, I did a search. You guys came up, and it was all good from there. Great content, and I just kept getting more and more involved. Finding more and more what you guys were doing in the videos. At first, the videos, I used to ride a VTX 1300. I just traded that in October on the Harley. So the videos weren't real pertinent to me, but now they are. I can't even say how much help all of those videos have been to me already.
That's awesome, Ben. Really appreciate it. All that feedback. So yeah, we've got a lot. We're trying to get other bikes on that YouTube channel, but it's a matter of coming across them in time. You know, we're so tied up in the Harley centric. We've done a Honda, a few little things like that when we can get our hands on it. But yeah, how do you listen to the podcast normally? How do you consume it?
I go back and forth depending on where I am, either iTunes or your app itself on my phone. If I'm in my car, I wind up using your app. It seems to run better over the cell. If I'm in the house or whatever, I usually wind up getting it through iTunes. That seems to run better in the house. Awesome, man. Awesome. And so is it common? Is it common where you are is that normal to get snow, or is that a freak deal? No, yeah, it is really normal to get snow around here. Actually, though, we've been lucky. We've had one of the mildest winters we've had in years. I was riding. There had been no snow through the end of December, and was riding almost that entire time. So that's been great. We just started to get a little bit of snow on the road. They treated the road, so now it's pretty much going to be until it clears before I start riding again. Yeah, we got lucky like that last year with a real mild winter where it really didn't snow, and then we got hammered this year. Hey, Matt, do you what does did he have a sticker under his seat? Matt's got this all mapped out on his laptop.
Yes, there was a sticker underneath his seat.
Oh, and that's sweet. So what did he win, dude?
He won a mechanic's shirt, our brand new mechanic shirt. So what you need to do, Ben, is send us an email at admin@lawabidingbiker. And put your Twitter handle in there so we know it's you. And just let us know your size and your address, and we'll ship it out to you. Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Any last parting words before we bring somebody else on?
I just want to thank you guys again for all of your hard work. I know this is a labor of love for you guys, but I can't say enough how much it's helped me. You know, this is my first Harley, my first brand new motorcycle. So I was a little nervous about opening things up and doing the work on it myself, but I can't thank you guys enough for all of the stuff that you've done.
Thanks, buddy. We really appreciate it. God bless you. Ride safe. Thanks for being involved in the community. We look forward to talking to you more. Make sure you send that email so we can get that mechanic shirt out to you, brother. All right.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
Thanks,
Peace
man.
out, buddy. Laters.
Later.
All right. So Yannick, we see you in there. We're going to talk a little bit. Stay in that seat, Yannick, and we'll bring you in here in just a second. So it was back in March 15th of 2013. And I'll tell you how that all started, guys. I'm going to take it back with a little dream sequence. Oh, yeah. I'm feeling it. And so how this all started, guys, and I don't think I've ever actually told this story. So I may have mentioned bits and pieces of it. Jakey, you're awfully quiet over there. He's always so quiet.
Oh, no.
All right. You can ask questions of the people that come in the seats. You just.
I'm just waiting for another request to model my shirt.
You know what?
In your flat ass.
You know what I should do? I should put Jake on the spot, and the next person I let in the room, let him completely ask the questions and interact, and I don't say a word.
I think that'd be a terrific idea.
Oh, Jake, is that going to make you nervous?
I have a feeling
he can
handle it.
Okay.
I could do it, but
all right.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it?
I'll do it, but just if I leave something out, don't.
Oh, no, you're on your own.
All right.
I'm going to leave you there frozen.
Do it.
Do it.
And then maybe you can do one. It's just a real quick conversation, see who they are, how they found us, and where they're at, and all, just a little quick chat. And then you can ask Lurch if they have a sticker. So the way the Lab podcast all started, guys, is obviously all you followers that have been following us a long time know my regular paying job. All of us are LEO jobs. And I actually got hurt at the LEO job in a scuffle and broke my wiener. Okay, it wasn't my wiener. It was my...
The good news is you can have sex around a corner now.
No doubt, dude.
Is that why you keep saying I got injured and I lost my 12 for just a 4? Is that the story that you're trying to get us to go with?
Well said. I ended up breaking not my wiener. I broke a finger, and on my right hand, if I remember right. Left hand, it was my left hand. And anyways, it was a pretty good fracture. And these days they worry about how that's set and everything. Anyways, long story short, I was going to the physical therapist and all that. Not physical therapist, but the what's the guy that does bone joint, orthopedic guy. And he's like, you cannot move that for the next 3 weeks. Like, I don't want you typing. And they set it in a splint. And I had one, and they sent me home, said, you can't even go to work because you can't even do administrative duties. We really need that to set properly or your finger's going to be disfigured for the rest of your life.
What finger was it? You probably said I didn't. Oh, your
pinky.
The pinky.
You have some pictures up on the website too.
Somewhere.
You do, because I was doing my research. I was searching different whatever parameters, and there are some pictures of you. And I think it was actually when I searched the first podcast, there was a few pictures of you in the closet. And in one of those pictures, you're wearing the hand piece.
Yeah, if you go
on the stranger, he injured the stranger.
He did hurt the stranger.
I hurt the stranger.
Exactly. So he had to go back to Rosie Palm and her five sisters.
I love it. Yes, and you're right. If you go to photos on the Law Abiding Biker website,
that's where I found it.
Go to the photos tab. Anyways, so yeah, they sent me home, and I had wanted to start. And I'm saying this in a nice way. There was a few other motorcycle podcasts out there, and honestly, to me, they sucked. And I was like, I listened to a lot of podcasts at the time, and I'm like, I cannot believe that there's not a our style podcast out there. I mean, a few of them said some decent stuff. They weren't, not that mine was well produced at first, but
no, it blew.
You know what? People still go back to that episode.
Yeah.
People still back catalog all the way to that episode.
Oh, it's fun to listen to the history and how we've improved.
Yeah. And I leave it up. I'm not embarrassed. You guys know me. My face is all over YouTube. I'm all over the podcast. I'm not shy, and I leave all that old stuff up. In fact, our first maintenance video is with me in that splint.
Yeah.
Because even though I got sent back to work for administrative duties, I still had that splint for quite a while. I think
Rob was doing a lot of the work, weren't you? And wasn't he? And you were filming.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, our very first Harley maintenance video, and I'm in that thing, and so. I just thought, I can't believe that somebody is not doing a motorcycle podcast that is what I believe a motorcycle podcast should be. And I didn't have a lot of gear, and I didn't have any money. So I started up very, very humbly. And you guys that have been back to that first episode, I talk about the progression and the history as I go through. All I had without getting technical equipment, but I simply had a condenser snowball microphone, which is a super cheap little condenser mic that you heard. It's echoey. It's not like these dynamic microphones that are center fire microphones and really clear and that minimize the echo, so to speak, the reverb. And I had an iPad mini, and I used that, and I couldn't do it out in the bigger parts of the home because it was with those condenser mics. It's way too much reverb, and so I was like, the only thing I can see to do. And I didn't have co-hosts, and I didn't know where it was going, and I wasn't sure exactly the format. Obviously, that takes time to figure out. You heard the first one there, and that's fun to listen to. It's painful and it's fun. At the same time, like I said, I'm not embarrassed. I could care less. That's my roots, and I'll always leave that up because
those are your humble beginnings, as you referred to quite often back then.
Yes,
that was kind of your little saying.
Yeah,
my humble beginnings.
You're right. That's exactly what it was. And so the only way I could get rid of that reverb is to go in my daughter's very, very small, like 4x4 foot closet. She had clothes hanging everywhere, and I would sweat like a dog because there's no vent in there. And I started it in March, but it was still plenty warm in the house. And when you go in a closet, it's like 15 degrees warmer when you shut that. And then I got some equipment running in there. That's how I recorded it, guys. I'm not going to break everything down, but I literally in the closet with an iPad and a condenser mic in the clothes to cut down on that echo sound. You can still hear the echo, but it cut it down substantially. And there I recorded the episode, and then I would bring it out and bump it into MP3 and get on the big iMac. I had an Office, but it was way too much reverb at that time. And I hadn't thought about, and those first ones I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm comfortable now, but it's pretty nerve-wracking, even though it's not even live back then. Now look at us, we're live and we're doing it on the fly, but it was nerve-wracking, but I knew that I had to do it to see where it went. And I rolled the frickin' dice. That's what I did. I rolled the dice and said, if this doesn't go anywhere, people don't like it, then I'll quit. I'm not a quitter, or I'll figure out how to make it better so more people listen. And
just think about how many people, Ryan, that you've brought into this. I mean, you're constantly getting emails about, hey, what equipment are you? Can you teach me how to do this? You've brought all of us in. And the first time I was on, I was like, oh yeah, I do radio interviews all the time. It's different when you're in here and all of a sudden, you're joking with each other and everything, but it's pretty cool. I mean, you've made obviously based on all the emails that I see, and I'm privileged to see those, you've made an impression on a lot of people in a lot of different countries because we get emails from all over internationally and the U.S. So, I mean, I think we're here for a reason, and people enjoy it. And just think of, if we wouldn't have done it, you just never know where we'd be. I mean, we'd be riding obviously in the summertime, but I don't think we would have as much enjoyment in our life if we weren't involved in this. And
you talk about your humble beginnings. This isn't even 3 years ago. You're coming up on your 3-year anniversary here in less than a month now, or right at a month. So, I mean, you've done a lot in a short period of time, and it's cool.
No, it's awesome. And I can't do it. I'm telling you guys, I'm not just licking your bunghole here, but or blowing smoke up your bunghole.
Well, don't do either. I'm good. You don't need to do either.
I'll blow the smoke up your bunghole.
Yeah,
but
I'll take a break, audience. This is going to be going on.
I'll pass.
But I can't do it without you guys. And yes, I got the platform and I got it started. But as I brought all you guys on, and you're such good friends, and it really, like we've said in the past, it gets us to get together. It forces us to get together to record. Now we're doing some remote stuff because we've got to put out content. We can't always get together, but we still love sitting right here in the studio like this.
One thing though with the remote stuff is you can't even tell. I've listened to other podcasts where they're doing remote, and you can tell because the other person is much lower or the tone's not quite right. But with this one, when I listen to it back live, but when I listen to the podcast back, I don't hear that difference. It sounds like they're in the room with you. So I appreciate your audio snobness, if you will, because both you and I appreciate good audio.
Yes, Matt has become an audio snob now that he's doing all the editing. And I send equipment. Matt Pass, who does remote stuff, I sent him I buy it all, when obviously when we can, I sent him a mic. I sent you a professional mic down there. So when we do Matt has one. So when we do have to do this remote stuff, yeah, we are audio snobs. It's what makes us stand above all the other motorcycle podcasts to a certain extent. And we even heard that from William Cody Case. Remember when he sent us that voicemail? Because I won't even listen to a podcast when I think people let it go if it's the first 5, 6, breaking in, but there's so much podcasts out there now that you have to be professional unless you're the only one doing that podcast. But when you're up against other motorcycle podcasts, then you've got to do things right and do it professionally and do it different and better than everybody else. And I think we've succeeded in that without being arrogant. Now, I know some of the other hosts from podcasts. I'm not saying they're doing a bad job. I'm just saying I'm always trying to take it to the next level, so to speak.
Yeah, and the only podcasts I listen to besides this one is they're sports ones, through ESPN, and they don't have audio quality that's any better than this, and that's what's amazing.
Yeah, that's cool, and they have all the producers and money behind it, and we're putting out the same quality.
And the businesses notice it too. We won't drop names, but just recently we had a conversation with the major company, and they're like, "Man, your guys' podcasts are clean, they sound good," and so as we can continue to evolve on, that's important for us to hear, even from these potential sponsors and these companies that are approaching us, because it's when they think it's that high quality, and it is, because you sink almost every single dollar that you get right back into it, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Yep, good point, Rick. Thanks for bringing that up. You're right. That's how we've succeeded is putting every bit back into the business to see what and how we can improve things for the end user, which is our audience that we've built over time and we appreciate so much. So yeah, so that's we'll bring Yannick in here in a second, but that's where it all started. And then we've got some, should we do episode 2 coming out of the closet. Mm-hmm. Let's bring Yannick in real quick.
Okay.
And see what Yannick has to say. Yannick is a patron, and he's from up north
he appreciates how you say aluminum.
Aluminium. Aluminium, yes. And he's a patron supporter. And if you guys are watching this and you want to become a patron supporter, just head over to lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Again, benefits, and we can get you into the private Facebook group and all that kind of stuff. Here we go. Let's bring Yannick in. Hey, Yannick.
All right.
Nice.
Hey, yeah, sorry I had to boot you out, brother, because it just wasn't connecting. I was like, maybe if he asks again, we can get him in.
That's okay, no problem.
Yannick, I know you, and everybody in this room knows you because you're heavily involved. He's a patron and law-abiding biker. He's very involved in the Facebook group. Why don't you tell a little bit, whatever you're willing to tell to the other Bikaholics out here listening?
Well, first of all, congrats to you guys for your 100th. It's awesome. I appreciate all the work you guys do. It's incredible. Like when I bought my Harley, actually, I was looking at videos and stuff online, and you guys like had all the nice videos. It was incredible.
And you're talking about, sorry, you were cutting out a little bit, the online videos that we have, the YouTube?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, all the free videos. And when I looked at it, I figured like, well, I'm going to need at one point the videos that you need to purchase. So I figured like might as well become a patron, because at a certain level you get access to those videos. So it was worth it.
Right. And so I'm just going to, it's really, I don't know if your Wi-Fi is on that end, Yannick, but basically he's saying that he obviously got the for purchase videos after he watched a lot of the free YouTube videos, and he's been helped by a lot of those for purchase videos. And what kind of bike you riding, brother? I was supposed to let you interview him, Jake.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Right now, I'm riding a Street LAB-100-Special 2015.
Sweet. What color did you get?
Brilliant silver is the color they call it.
Oh, nice. That was what I wanted.
It's funny because the one I wanted was the radioactive green, but it didn't come up in the special model. So I took that one, especially that it was a 2015. And they actually had a good rebate on it. So I figured I'll buy it. I was supposed to buy it in a year, but I decided to buy it right away. So.
Hey, Jake, you wanted that color, Jake?
Yeah, you know me. I'm somewhat... Money was an issue for me, and I got the vivid black. And the main reason I went with that was it was about $1,500 cheaper than everything else. And I finally just... You know, you got the wife breathing down your throat. It was bad enough I was buying a bike. I said, I can live with black, but the silver was my favorite, clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is what this was the conversation Jake had with his wife.
God, you're fucking dumb, dude.
Sorry, Jakey.
You're dumb.
And she was telling me that.
She was telling you that?
Do we really need to do this? Yes.
Now, Jake, let's cue the dream sequence, because here's the real story. The real story is he sends me a text, and he's like, hey, man, I'm going down to look at this bike. And I'm like, yeah, well, they've got them down there, and they're running a big sale right now, especially financing.
It was a used one.
Yeah, it was a used one he wanted to look at, because we all had touring type bikes, and he had the Road King. And then so he gets down there, and he's like sending me text, should I do this? The same shit that I was doing to you yesterday looking at that Triumph. Should I really do this? Am I making a mistake? And he turns around, he's like, should I do this? And I'm like, dude, go for it. And he goes, tell me I shouldn't do this. Okay, you shouldn't do it. Are you just saying that because I told you to, or what? And he ends up buying it. So I got to go through the whole purchase with him. He's like, man, she said, go for it. She said, go for it. And you should have saw him. He was in such a hurry to get home. He didn't even stop off at my work on the way home. He was so excited. So.
That's awesome, man. And hey, Yannick, and you were cut out a little bit. How did you find us on the podcast, or did you find us on the YouTube channel?
It must have been on YouTube, because it was the videos. It was free to purchase.
Okay.
Free to listen to. So.
And what part of you're up north in Canada? You mind saying where? You don't have to, but which part generally?
Yeah, it's I'm in Ottawa, Canada, the capital of Canada. So.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Quebec City.
Okay. And what's real quick? What's weather doing up there for you?
It's not too bad. It was 1 degree today, but like it's been weird. Like we had some like -10, -8, and then like 6 degrees the next day. Like it was really weird. So it's a weird winter, but it was mild so far. So I'm happy.
That's awesome, man. And hey, Lurch has got. Does he have a sticker end? Did Yannick have a sticker under his seat?
Oddly enough, he does.
Oh,
he has got a biker gripper, a universal biker gripper.
Dude, you want a biker gripper, Yannick? Is that something you can use?
Oh yeah, for sure. Actually, I was thinking about buying one, and I'm probably going to need to buy another anyways, because I need one for my iPhone and I need one for my GoPro.
Oh, nice.
Well, as a patron, you just tell me which one you want. We'll send you whichever one you need. Just send the email to admin and let us know what works best for you, and we'll send it to you.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. You know, Yannick, admin at lawabidingbiker.com, and just we know you, but put your Twitter handle and tell us, which model you want, brother, and we'll send it to you. Okay.
Yep. Perfect.
Hey,
That's awesome. Thanks,
yeah, you betcha. Any last words before we get out of here?
Nah, congrats again. Hope you guys have a nice party afterwards.
Yeah, we will, buddy. We will. And thank you for stepping up and coming in on Blab and being an integral part of the law-abiding biker community. Ride safe. God bless, brother.
Yep. Peace.
Well, Yannick's rocking a serious goatee. I like that.
He is, isn't he? Yeah.
It'd take me 6 years to grow that. I'm going to be up in Canada this November.
You are?
Yeah, I'll be up in Alberta hunting whitetail.
Hunting the whitetail, dude.
Mm-hmm. Up there near Lloydminster. I'm sure he knows where that's at. The Alberta-Saskatchewan border up there in Two Hills.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Sweet, dude. All right, so with that said, where were we? We were talking about, so let's play the next sound clip. Clip number 2, and then we'll talk about that a little bit. Taking it back, nice little sound clip Lurch put together. Let's take a listen. If you listen to the last podcast, you realize that I did the podcast in one of my daughter's closets, and I was quite humbling. I'm starting out here, pretty humble beginnings. So, anyways, the closet got really hot, and I did not have I just had my basic podcasting equipment, which is pretty minimal, but I really wanted to have a computer in front of me. So I was like, I gotta move to the office. Plus it's super stuffy in that closet, but I got really hot. I can't run a fan.
You're in there farting.
Like I told you guys last time, I'm running a condenser mic, which I won't get into what that is, but it's hard to get good quality sound without background sound. So I'm going to upgrade that eventually, but that is what I'm using right now. But yeah, I'd just like to say that I came out of the closet. I mean, yeah, not like come out of the closet, but I walked out of the closet. Yeah, thank you. And I'm not going back in there if I don't have to. That's funny shit, actually. I haven't listened to all this. Lurch put this together. I mean, I did generally, but he put together so much. That's funny shit.
Yeah, that sucked. I'm not going back in there.
I'm not going back in that closet, dude.
I'm glad that you didn't invite Ed or I into the closet. You started with co-hosts once you got out of the closet.
Yes, true that, dude. True that. I didn't make you guys. We wouldn't have fit. Straight up wouldn't have fit, dude. You know how that my daughter's closet is so small.
That would have been a little cozy.
So what episode was that, Lurch?
That was episode 2. You came out, you did 1 in the closet, and then 2, you came out of the closet.
Yes.
Or it was either 2 or 3. No, it says episode 2. So it was your second episode. You decided that was for the birds, and you moved into the, I don't know what you call that little, I guess it's a den, isn't it, down there? It's a small den off the kitchen?
That's actually supposed to be how the house was built. That was the office. This is just the bonus room that we moved to.
Right. So you moved into your office.
Yes.
And that was pretty cozy too in there, but we can get 3 people in there. But it got hotter than 2 rats humping in a wool sock in there.
Lurch is saying, I love it. It did. And so we got somebody just came in. If anybody wants to grab that seat, Blab seat, grab it and we'll get you in when we can. 2 prizes given away. Oh, Greg Gaxiola, I see in there. Just wait and I'll pick you up here in a second. Gregorio Gaxiola. So I knew real quick, taking the dream sequence back. I knew real quick, and Rick, you weren't even, you and Jake weren't even part of the club yet, so you probably weren't even aware of it.
No, I think the first time I met you guys was at Rob's birthday party with the oysters and the good steak and stuff. It's the first time I'd met you guys, but I had actually was looking to adjust my clutch, and I found one of your videos because I just wanted to make sure it was a left or right, which direction to tighten it up.
Correct.
And I saw the video, and so he had told me about you, and he's like, hey, I want you to come meet these guys. And so I put the thing together with the video and then that. So that was probably about July. When's his birthday? About July or
I think
summertime
somewhere
around
in there,
2013. So it was right. I came in right as you had already been doing it for a few months.
Yeah,
and then back cataloged, of course.
Yeah, I just started with Rob and Justin, I think, in May of 2013. It was a little while before I got involved.
What year? Sorry.
It was May of 2013, I remember, because right after I bought my Road King, I went on a ride with Rob and Justin and Chewy.
So it was about 7 months into it I was.
Yeah.
Wow, it's earlier than I thought.
Yeah, and
it's earlier than I thought.
August or something, because he had already been around for a few months by the time that I first met you guys.
August of 2014?
13. Yeah.
Oh, so you were, okay, I got you.
I think so. I mean, I could be off a year.
No, right.
I got short-term memory loss, so who knows?
Yeah. That was the first and it was a YouTube, or you watched the YouTube video. That's very, very interesting. Lurch, this is where at this point I take it. I realize at this point, and you guys can ask me questions at any time, by the way, but I realized at this point that I might have something, because although it was new, I was building the Facebook page. I built a website. I got the website. That was the first thing I did. I've changed the theme and everything since then to make it a little cleaner. I was learning all this as I was going, and I was spending a major amount of time developing something that I hope was going to last. Of course, today but I've learned in the 3 years so much just about website, and I put in a lot, just as much time today. It's just on more of the production and the videography and the editing. More back then it was building websites and getting the platform and figuring out audio and how do we deliver this, and RSS feeds and everything else that goes along with it. And if anybody out there thinks it's easy podcasting, it's not. That's why you see so many podcasts. Pod fade is what it's called in the industry. Pod fade.
They come and go. They fade out.
Look at iTunes. You look at a lot of the motorcycle podcasts. Their last episode was 2011. It's because they did it and they went for usually people pod fade at about 10 to 15 episodes and they're gone, because people don't understand the amount of work. You don't just get on a microphone. You can, and those podcasts have like 5 listeners. If you're going to do it correctly, then it takes an insane amount of time and production. If you want the production value and you want to provide good content, anybody can get on a mic, and we can do that. We could literally get on mic the next 10 days in a row and just bullshit about nothing meaningful. And so we do that once in a while, just for fun. But most of the time, at least in between that, there's a message and some kind of that a biker can take away from that conversation. If you want to do that, then it's going to take you, you're going to have to have 2 full-time jobs, your regular job and podcast. And a lot of people get into podcasting because they think, oh, it's awesome. And if you think you're going to make a lot of money at it, then keep your day job, because it's very difficult to make money at podcasting, where you have to branch off to make money.
Right.
Like us with the physical store.
You need to diversify.
We need patrons. You need to diversify. You can get on a mic and talk all day and ain't nobody going to pay you shit, especially if it's not good. Our patrons pay us per piece of content because they appreciate our content and they want us to keep going. But if we were just doing crap, we probably wouldn't have 96 patrons.
No.
Right. And I've always said,
there's a lot of stars now too that are starting to, when you got into this, it was relatively fresh, relatively new. You believed in it. You and I had this conversation about riding down the roadway, and I like my music. And you're like, no, I just listen to podcasts. So I started listening to podcasts. I always listen to this one, but then I started listening to some other ones. And I think what's funny is that all these, now Misha Tate is coming out with a podcast, but Adam Carolla, all these big, comedians and stuff, they're all coming out with the podcast because they're starting to realize that it's an avenue where they get to see you direct. And that's what we use, not to go into the business side too much here, but when we're talking about advertising and stuff like that, that's one of the things that we're telling them. We are giving you direct people that want to hear about motorcycles and they want to hear it from us. And that's no bullshit here. We see the emails, we get the comments. I can put on a Facebook patron page, Bonneville, like today, Bonneville or Thruxton. Instantaneously, I got all these people seeing it, people commenting. They want to talk about motorcycles. They want to be with us and enjoying the conversation. I think you helped create some of that. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass.
You can if you want. I do enjoy it.
No, if there's any smoke in the ass, I'm going to be taking a break and going downstairs. But if you think about it, how many people are copying you? How many podcasts, and you know it, and you're not going to say their names because you're not like that. But I know it because I've seen their podcasts and they faded, or they're emailing you saying, well, what can I do? How many listeners do you have? Let's work together because we're both in. Hey, that's great. But the reality is you got to put your product and you got to be you. You can't try to be something else. And I think that's the difference with us.
Yes, man, that BD Kane, he's something else. I love it, dude. I love it. You bring a lot of insight, and thank you for that. You're right. And there are, and we're not talking about bad about, I'm actually I started a mastermind group. I won't get into that. And there's another motorcycle podcast. And at some point I'll probably bring him on. He's doing good things. He's kind of resurrecting it. But there's also, a lot of people trying, I've noticed pop up trying to do similar, YouTube, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We would never bash anybody. We're for everybody. If you want to start a motorcycle podcast, go for it. We support you. Have fun and get ready to work your living ass off and give away all your free time. If you want to do it right and you actually want to have listeners. If you just want to get on a mic and throw a MP3 out there and nobody listens, well, anybody can do that. So I tell people, they've asked me, go for it. Have fun, see how long you last. And we're going on 3 years. And again, it's because of you guys. It's because the group we have that allows us to do this, and it's because of the patrons. And me and Matt have said this, and I know, Jake, you can probably attest to this too, because you guys know the amount of listeners that we have. And I'm going to bring you in, Gregorio, here in a second. I'm just thinking off the cuff here. So we are the number one listened to motorcycle podcast, guys. And we don't just say that. We're saying that because we know the numbers we have. And we can get exact stats of how many listeners we have. And we are so number one for biker podcasts. We take up the whole first page at Google if you search for that right now, and also in iTunes. And you can't always believe iTunes because sometimes they'll put us second and they'll put a podcast that faded in 2011. So iTunes is weird, but we're always in the top 3. And there's some burnout podcasts that are before us that aren't even alive anymore. And I don't know how iTunes does that, but we know from our stats, and we also know, this is exciting, that we're kind of, we and Matt knows this, that we're the top, one of the top 10, in the top 10% of all podcasts listened to worldwide, not motorcycle, all podcasts, because they come out, our audio host, and they tell you, based on these numbers, if you're getting this amount of downloads this month, you are in this top percentage of world of podcasts listened to. There's only 2 big hosts for Blueberry and Libsyn for podcasts, and they say that based on our numbers that we're in the top 10%. That's huge.
Which blows my mind.
Blows my mind. And so we better get some claps for that. Come on.
I'll give you some. Hold on. Let me find that little
blood
thing.
Yeah, you can't. That's manipulating the system, giving us claps.
Ryan usually begs for claps. We recorded with Dara
I tried
a
to
few
beat
weeks
everybody.
ago, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'll send out free shirts and shit or something like that." And everybody's liking his stuff, and like, no, Dara's got the most claps.
Yeah, Dar was ahead of me, and I told him something like that, and people started giving me claps. I just want to be ahead in claps.
You're a dork.
I am a dork.
I think before we talk to old Greg, we might have to play Cuz's ramblings, that little clip too, because Greg had mentioned earlier in the Blab that he thought Cuz was funny.
Okay.
He's funny looking.
Cuz is funny if you know how to take Cuz. And I think everybody was getting to know his personality before. Cuz still is, he's just not as available, guys. That's why he couldn't do it as much. He doesn't work an LEO career. And so he's off, and he just got married not too long ago. And so he's just, it's not that he doesn't want to be, and he actually wanted to be here tonight. Then he was going to be here. Then he wasn't going to be here. Then he was going to be here. And God bless Cuz.
We told him he's not going to be around to defend himself.
Right. And God bless Cuz. But at this time in his life, and when he left the podcast, he can't be relied upon. And that's not a bad thing.
Nope.
That's just the point he was on in his life. And I couldn't rely on him that he would be here when it was time to go. And so he's going to get on when he can, and we love him, and he's welcome. But the other guys can commit and be here, and I know that they're going to show up unless they're really, really ill, like has happened to Jake one time.
Yeah, it wasn't a good day.
Jake at last minute, but luckily I had Oscar.
We have schedules that are unique, and he's got a normal day job, and so when we do one on a weird time, it's something he usually can't commit to.
Yeah, very well said. And so that's no skin off, although I will bust his balls.
He was your first co-host.
Yes, you're right.
Uh-huh.
And that's so that's going to be fun. I'm going to play that soundbite. The only other thing I'll say, and Lurch, based that we are the top 10% of all podcasts listened to, I think this will boggle your minds. And I'm just throwing this out there because it's a conversation piece. But you know how most things, and I'm not saying anything negative here about all the other listeners, because a lot of people donate. You can just leave a flat donation for us too if that works better. You know, we love the patrons because we get to send you stuff, and you get in the private Facebook group, and it's more of a personal relationship. But we get donations. You see the emails come in.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can donate. lawabidingbiker.com/donate. We have no problem with that, and that helps put
fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank to keep this bitch running on down the road.
Oh, I absolutely love that, dude. And I usually have the motorcycle pass, but the patrons obviously are that money that we know is coming in. It gives us vision and where we can
structure.
Go. Structure, yes, to know what we can provide. I will say this, that, and again, I'm not saying bad. There's a lot of listeners that just don't, they listen and they consume, and that's okay. We're going to be there regardless of people. We want you to give because you want to. That's why we set up Patreon. We don't hide it behind a membership wall. We're like, if you like our content and you know that this is a great platform and you want it to keep going, then become a patron. We want you to do it because you want to. If we literally sold the podcast, which we won't, but if everybody that listened to this podcast gave $1 in patronage, I could retire tomorrow and do this full time. It's that big.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Wow. But that's not going to happen. And that's not the way the world works. I
understand that.
Yeah. I'm just throwing out there, and I don't want to sell it. And I don't want, and there are people in the time in their life where they're really broke. And we've seen people like that. The patrons are like, I'm going to become a patron in 6 months. I'm just not financially able to do it. And then lo and behold, I can name several, which I won't throw out there, that come back and go, I got a raise, and I'm finally, got moved, and I'm in a financial position, and they lay it on. And it's just, that's humbling.
Yeah. And the videos too. I mean, how many times have we seen emails where they're like, I'm having a hard time financially. I got to fix this bike. And they send us an email and we answer the question, they get it fixed, and they send us back a donation like 3, 4, even 6 months later. And they're like, hey, at the time you gave me this free advice. It worked. I didn't have a bunch of money. I was able to fix it. So I wanted to give you this $20 donation or $10, whatever they are. I mean, they remember us. And, the thing about that, at the end of the day, we're going to put the videos out because we're fixing our bikes and we want them to be able to fix their bikes. But the fact that they recognize the fact and they do come back, like you said, I mean, that's a big deal to me.
Yeah, it is. Is that sun bugging? You need me to close that blind?
It's bugging him. He won't say it, but it is.
All right. Talk about Cuz coming up and moving into the office.
The good thing about this blocking is that I don't have to look at Ryan. So I can't see him.
That's good. So the next clip that we're going to play here was the first episode and the second episode that Cuz was on. And Ryan moved out of the closet, came out of the closet and went into his den and set it up. And he had Cuz on for the episode. And Cuz is a unique individual. He's we often tell him that he's loud. He says that he is not loud. He's just big and his voice carries. But it was kind of funny listening back to these old episodes. He was walking all over you and making little jokes here and there. But what I did is I went through one episode and I cut out all of his little ramblings and put it into one stream. So there's not a lot of break in between the things he's saying. It's just one episode where I cut out pretty much all of Ryan talking and just Ed's ramblings, and it gives me quite a chuckle. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And Ryan's going to cue it up.
Should we play real quick? Let's play Cuz's intro song, because I still have it on the soundboard because I'm waiting for it.
I didn't know you had that.
I do. I still have it because
I'm 7 feet tall, but I'm still just a man. So of course it hurts me a lot when I walk into the ceiling fan. Small people say I wish I was him, but it's been 9 years since I've had a trim. The barber said I can't reach the top of his head.
Dude, that was his song, and I got it ready for him when he comes back. But let's go ahead and cue this up, and then we'll bring Gregorio Gaxiol in. Here we go. Cousins Ramblings.
You still got a nice butt.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Word. It's probably not going to be so good. Well, it can't be good because I'm not so good.
Dude.
You've been married for too many years. So you got to get out. Either that or I need to meet a good woman that I don't, I don't need to. Well, actually, I met one. Maybe she'll tame me.
Yeah, I doubt it.
You still have a face like a baby. Is it weird that I'm just in a thong? You can hug my leg there, short guy. Word. I thought you passed gas. Is it me? Yeah, I'm a little sweaty. I'm 6'8", 280 pounds. It's going to stink. I'm a good man. I do dishes. Just for you, Big Daddy. That is totally weird. I might swallow a 12 gauge. Word. I like it. Are you okay? Your nipples are getting hard. Are you okay over there? Dude, you almost look like a leprechaun. But I love you. You got a pot of cold for me? Hey, just one time. Dude, this is great. Oh, your wife is amazing. She takes care of all of us.
She does.
I get used a lot for my height. Well, perfect. That was my kidney. It's okay. I got another. The only level that I know is the top level. So let's go there. You can't see me right now, but I'm sea walking in my chair. Word. I'm going to start calling you Tron. LAB.
And
Lab. Educated. I got to be honest. I'm not a long, good book reader. Yeah, it's kind of cute. So you popped his cherry. Yeah. You okay with it? That's not all you're known for. Chaps. It wasn't horrible. I should get spanked for that. And let me tell you about Ryan's wife. But it's like a rock. Bought and paid for. Beer, but not just beer, but Rainier beer. Rainier beer. Sometimes Ryan even squeezes our butt cheeks. It's a little weird. It's a little creepy, but we like it. Plus, I'm kind of big and pretty.
Oh God, dude, that was.
And you didn't have the limber gate back then, so he's so loud and yelling in the microphone, it's crackling.
Oh my God, I'm crying, dude. It hurts.
That was an hour and a half that I went through and cut out all the other stuff and came up with like 2 minutes.
Was that out of one episode?
That was one episode.
Oh, if you would have, could you imagine if you would have done like 10 episodes? That clip would have went on for 20 minutes, dude.
Oh, easily.
Oh God, Matt. Well, good job, dude.
Thank you.
And I listened to that a couple weeks ago when you made it or whatever. But
yeah, I was sending it to you.
Funny.
You got to get him in here more often. He's way more entertaining than I am. Jeez.
Oh yeah, he's a character. We just got to teach him not to like try to talk over you and interrupt you so much.
Yes,
because he's trying constantly to be funny and bust your balls, and so it kind of is a little bit interrupting at times. But when you cut it out like that, it's hilarious.
Oh, well done. Everybody brings something different. We've all got our positives and our weaknesses, and Cuz definitely had his and so that was back when I moved to the office, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. That was when I really started, even though it's not as good a quality sound as it now. That's when I was off the condenser mic and off the iPad, and I was actually recording with some Shure SM58 microphones, which we still have better now, but we upgraded. And I was recording into a external recorder and doing it more, trying to take the professional. That was only episode 4.
That was 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Might have been 4. I'll look.
And he was my first co-host because he was really involved and he had more time at that time based on his job. And he was able to come in and I knew he would be a 4. Matt's holding up episode 4. And he was able to come in and help me. And we had no idea what we're doing. And that's when I started doing show notes, but he couldn't see the show notes really. I was still looking at the show notes on the iPad.
That's before he had the screen.
Yeah.
So we would follow the show notes on our phones.
I didn't even send them to you yet at that time.
Oh.
Because it was so random and I didn't know what to do. I would print you guys out stuff sometimes, but I wasn't actually sending you workflowy links at that time or anything. It wasn't nearly as organized. It was
the workflow really helped. That added something extra to the podcast. It kept us in line and keeps us organized. And you can't see it on the webcam, but when we're sitting on the couch, you've got a screen back behind you that we can look at and follow along, and that way we all stay on the same path and don't go on as many rabbit trails as we do now. We still do, but not as many.
Yes. Okay. Apparently,
Jake's got to pee.
Do you have to pee, Jake?
Come on, Jake. Just say it. Do you got to pee?
I got to go pee.
Jeeks?
Okay. Well,
he had too many Dr. Peppers.
Let's
go pee.
We will take an. Do you want to interview Gregory Gaxiola real quick?
Yeah, we can do that first.
Let's do that because
I can wait that long.
Waiting.
All right.
Do that long.
Let's bring in caller Gregorio Gax. I call him Greg Gaxiola. He's a patron, longtime member, the first patron.
Number one
patron back in the day. Been with us, met him in California. Great guy. I am leaving this all, and this will be an easy one because Greg's a really personal guy. Not that they all aren't.
Make sure you ask him about the battered beaver.
I was going to say, you cannot have a conversation with Greg without the battered beaver.
Yeah. Are you ready, Jake? Do you think you can handle this?
Yes, I can handle this one.
Next, Matt, it might be you or it might be Big Daddy.
We've already got people throwing shade over at the our private GroupMe site, so that's why we keep smiling and laughing.
Love it. I'm trying to bring Greg in here. And when they sit in the seat too long, it seems like it hangs up. So I may have to boot you, Greg.
Kick him in the butt. Bring him back in.
And then you may have to request. Yep, it booted you out. Send us another request, Greg. and I'll open that seat up. And while we're doing that, I'll just talk a little bit. So what I did with that at that time, I actually obviously bringing in no money to help with the costs. And this equipment is expensive, guys, if you want to have professional audio. A lot of people say, oh, just record on your iPhone. Well, you can, and that's a great way to get started, but that's not going to take you to the next level and get you noticed. To get noticed and have something that's the number one motorcycle podcast, you got to up your gear, and you got to know how to use the gear. And I spent long days and nights trying to figure this stuff out and testing different gear. And I sold a trailer. I needed about $900. And of course I had no patrons. People really weren't donating at that time, nor had I really pushed any of that. I didn't push any of that until we were really starting to get recognized, and I realized people wanted to donate. And I didn't want to throw that on people right away. I wanted to feel my place in the motorcycle podcast space. And I was realizing that just based on what we were doing, we were overtaking a lot of the other ones, and it was growing fast. But again, not without all that work. And Greg, you're going to have to ask for another seat, brother, if you're still there. He may have left and took a leak. But so I sold a trailer. I had an extra trailer, and I didn't want to sell it, but I sold it, and I sold it for $900. And I immediately took that $900 and I bought, like Matt, we talked about just a second ago, bought some more professional mics and some dynamic microphones and some mic stands, which Big Daddy, that mic stand that you're using has not been used since we were downstairs. That's how it used to be. There wasn't boom arms like this. There wasn't these great mics that we're talking on. The mic you're talking on is great too. Trust me, that sounds just almost as good as these, and it's a quarter of the price. But we had mic stands and folding chairs down in the office down there, and it was crammed, wasn't it, Matt?
It was tight, a little tight, a little warm.
It was nut to butt, dude.
It was nuts to butts. It got a little funky. It smelled like man in there after about an hour and a half of podcasting. It was a little funky. Even with the window cracked, it was a little much.
It was a little much.
And we were down on the main floor of your house, which is right off the kitchen where, families tend to hang out. So it was hard to kind of keep the girls because they're young, keep them quiet. So now that we're upstairs here and separated and we got better equipment, you don't hear them so much in the background because they're down there having fun right now and talking, and you don't hear it so much up here. But before, you could hear the girls in the background occasionally.
Your blanket, by the way, is working badass.
Oh, yeah. It worked pretty well.
Wow. Yep. That cut it down because I know they're down there talking, but you can't hear them.
Yeah. And
we got to figure out a permanent solution. So we're still growing, guys. That's what's funny. We put up a blanket today at the bottom of the stairs. The bonus room comes up. It's over the garage. That's where the studio is now. And I'm not getting into techie stuff, but we have an extra mic on the board tonight, and it's not on. It doesn't limit the sound like the rest are going through. And so it's picking up all these background noises, and the gals were down there talking. It was just
cackling.
It was terrible compared to what we're used to. You could hear everything. So this is how ghetto we still are, even though we have this professional studio. We take a blanket, a couple nails, like 2 minutes before we started. Lurch is down there at the bottom of the stairs with a hammer and nails, tacking up one of my blankets from my bed.
Wife was not happy about it. You better not put any holes in my wall. We just painted.
I know, dude.
You won't be able to see it. They're two little finished nails.
And we need to figure out something permanent. Because even when we have the limiter gate, wouldn't that be great to block that off down there?
It would.
You need to. You're the guy that is good at that stuff. You need to come up with a solution for me that I can drop down over there permanently, even if it's a little ghetto. That's how we've always rolled. Look at my on-air lights; they're ghetto. I made them myself.
Yeah, it's stairs that lead up to a bonus room, and we can't put anything at the top because of the way it's designed. We can definitely put something down at the bottom, but that
helps a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think a door is practical, so maybe we can put a frame, some type of frame in there and paint it up so you don't really notice it, and then we could hang something.
Even a blanket that could be more of a permanent figure, other than little finish nails. I don't care if it's ghetto blanket; it just helps. And even if it's just something we can drop down and roll up real quick, dude, literally, I don't mind.
We could probably put some hangers up there and just hang a blanket up there, something we take down and put up easily,
or a little curtain rod like for the window right here.
Or a curtain rod, yep.
Dude,
we'll come up with something.
After the show, we'll do that.
Okay.
Let's bring Gregory Gaxiola in. Let me see if
he's having issues. He was saying on the chat line because of where he's at.
He's coming in right now.
He's on. Nice.
There he is. Hey. I recognize that mug.
All right, Greg. Here's the deal. Greg. It's good to see you, but I'm putting Jake on the spot, and he's going to completely talk to you. I want to see if he can handle it. So I'm just sitting back. Here goes Jake. See what he's got.
All right,
Greg. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, Jake. How you doing?
Good. I know a little bit about you since I was on that podcast you came on, but the rest of the listeners might not. So I'm going to go there. Where are you calling us from? A general idea.
I'm on a secret island somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. Can't give the location though.
Right, because you work for the.
You can't say. He just works for the government.
He works for the government in a super secret
right.
capacity that helps us all get through our day-to-day lives.
He was the original Tom Cruise super spy.
And I also know you've had a lot of bikes several bikes throughout your life. When did you start riding?
Oh, I started riding when I was in junior high.
Nice.
You rode with Jesus, didn't you?
Oh.
What was your first bike?
Riding buddies. First bike, Honda 65.
Honda 65. And I know that you, 2 years ago came and joined the group for on part of the ride through California. What were you riding then?
Then I was on my Honda ST 1300. It's a retired police bike.
And you guys went to a bar that had a great name we all remember. The Battered Beaver.
The Battered Beaver. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. A lot of guys were there with you. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Nice.
Do you remember that bartender?
Oh, yeah. I remember her.
She had big lungs.
Yeah, she had big lungs. She had big arms, too. I don't think you'd want to mess with her.
No, she was a fitness gal. She worked out quite a bit.
Yeah, I know.
So make sure that he does the sound of his favorite bike he ever had, because that's the best sound bite we've ever going to have.
Right. You know, I was listening to this actual podcast that you were on, Greg, during my Frosty 4 run today. And one of the first bikes you talked about having a specific sound it made, and we were going to try to make a clip of it. I don't know if you got there yet. What was that sound?
That was a Yamaha 100. It's two-stroke. Ring, ding, 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 ring, ding, 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 ding.
All I remember was you said your buddy's mom was hot.
That's right.
Yeah, she was, and she was really good to that guy. She bought him a '56 Chevy too, all hopped up, and we used to cruise around in that all the time, pick up girls.
Ah, very nice. And right now, you're. I know you still said you had the old police bike that you rode down to California with the guys. And your current one is a Harley, you said? Street Glide like mine?
Yeah, same one as yours, same color and everything.
Yeah, do you like it?
I liked it. Oh yeah, I love that bike.
Was that your first Harley or not?
No, that was my second Harley. I bought my first Harley back in 2013, about the time I started listening to this podcast.
Okay, and we've talked earlier about how you're the first patron. How did you find this group?
I used to work a job where I worked nights, and so I'd listen to a lot of podcasts, and I'd listen to some motorcycle podcasts that they were kind of boring, to tell you the truth. They weren't that good. So when I ran into this podcast, I just fell in love with it. It's a great avenue. It's a good way to learn, and it's entertaining. You guys keep me entertained, that's for sure.
Well, that's awesome. And, thanks for your support. I know that it really is important for this group to have that kind of support. And Lurch, do we know if he had a sticker under his seat?
We got stickers all over the place.
He's got something under his seat. It ain't a sticker, though.
Some bubble gum, I think. It's already been chewed. I think he's got some tissues hidden underneath his seat.
ABC.
Hey, do you have a mechanic shirt yet, Greg?
Have what? No.
All right.
A mechanic shirt?
Yep.
No.
You have won a mechanic shirt. We're going to send you one. We got your size on file, I believe.
Okay.
Well,
actually, it's extra large.
Well, of course, because you're a man. You're a manly man. You wear an extra large like I do. All right. We're going to send you an extra large mechanic shirt.
All right.
What does he need to do?
He just needs us. So we don't forget, Greg, would you send us a email to the admin at Law Abiding Biker and remind us extra large mechanic shirt, and just throw in your Twitter handle, because that's what we're asking people to do, and we'll get you one sent out.
All right.
We know you'll represent us well.
All right, Greg, thanks. Is Ryan, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, Greg, real quick before we go, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did Jake do? Was it awkward?
Well, I can see him squirming around. I think you better let him go to the bathroom there.
Yeah.
He does. He's been waiting for me to take an intermission.
I'm usually good for an hour, and we're over an hour and a half in, so I'm doing all right, I think.
Yeah, Ryan and I were talking about this earlier, and we're wondering if we had enough content to go for a couple hours. We figured this might turn into like a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get there.
Definitely a 10. All you guys are a 10. Great job. Thanks for all the hard work you do. And a lot of people appreciate what you're doing, guys.
We appreciate
Thank
you,
you
Greg. Thank you.
All right,
Okay.
Greg, thanks so much. We're going to take it out. Thanks for being involved. Thanks for being a patron. One of the early supporters, thanks for the recent episode you did. That's what we do around here. We're trying to bring patrons on that have knowledge of the industry. And God bless you, brother. Don't work too hard down there. We'll be in touch.
Ride safe, man.
All right. God bless you too. Thanks.
Hey, guess who we have? I know you got to go pee. So here's the deal. You can either just go by yourself. We're going to take an intermission in less than 10 minutes.
I can wait that long.
But LD's waiting, and he's.
You see what he said? You guys are ugly.
All right, let's.
That's a lot of ugliness on that couch.
Let's bring dipshit
All
in
right,
here.
Give him his theme song before you get him going.
Oh yeah, let's.
Rob, if you're listening, let him play your theme song and then roll.
Well, I've got this one. It just depends, but here's his regular one. And this is his one that made him famous.
Kind of man, be something
I need a lighter.
you love to understand. Baby, be a simple.
Okay, let's
be a simple man.
Let's bring LD in here.
He is pretty simple.
And he is simple. Simple, stupid.
Love him like the brother I never wanted.
Here's Jackass. Let's bring Jackass on here. See if we can get a connection. I can't believe that he's smart enough. Look at his big head. Look at his big head, dude.
How do you do this? This is way too high tech for me.
Oh, dude, I was laughing my ass off when I saw
look
you
underneath
train.
your seat. You win a T-shirt.
Do I?
No.
You win an used dildo.
Fuck off. Say that on this deal?
You can say whatever you want.
All right.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Are you going to make it to the studio? Apparently not. You're going to do it remotely?
I am, because my kid played basketball today and it just finished. So
All right. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you chiming in, dude. We're taking it back. Have you been listening the whole time or what?
no, I literally just got home.
Roger. So we've been going through the days of old and starting in the closet, and Matt's got a whole bunch of sound bites we just went through all the Ed, just tons of sound bites of Ed saying nothingness, dude. Just his little stuff he used to do when he was on the podcast. You remember that where he just.
Hang on. Before you say anything else, what were you guys saying about me? Because I'm reading the little chatter here.
Oh, nothing. Yeah,
And,
there's several sound clips coming up in the near future here that have you in them.
That I trust than any of you fuckers says, cool, he didn't hear you guys talk about him. So I know there was something.
Well, you'll have to wait till it comes out in podcast format since you weren't on time.
Dicks. All right.
All right. Hey, if there's any way that you're technical enough on your laptop, whatever you're using, try to bring your input level volume up, because I'm maxed here and you're kind of quiet, or move up to your computer or something.
On iPhone.
Yeah, that's better when you're closer, bro. And we can see your big fat.
Then you guys bitch my head's too big.
I was saying, talk about a whole lot of ugly.
You're such a fool, dude. Keep it off your wiener.
Is this pretty good here?
Yeah, it's better. I got a good producer that'll be able to bring your volume levels up. And believe it or not, even though we can't hear him, I'm bringing up the levels on the mixer. So in the final recording, it's going to be, you won't notice, but it's just us in our earphones. It sounds really low.
Should I go sit on my bike and put my phone in the folder holder?
Oh yeah. And the biker gripper, dude, straight up.
Oh yeah. All that thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm heading out there.
All right. LD's got a biker gripper. No, I appreciate you calling in, dude. So you got any good memories of when we started this thing and what you thought and all that, dude?
All right, we're in the biker gripper. I've got that's good information.
Yep.
That was a classic.
Talk about that.
Well, Ryan, because he can't multitask apparently, was I don't know what he was doing, playing on his computer or playing solitaire or whatever he does during the podcast over there that you can't see. And Lee and I were having a good conversation about bikes being panty droppers. And so Ryan goes, "Oh yeah, that's real good information." And Lee says, "What's good information? Panty dropping's good information?" And you should see Ryan's face. Yeah, what I just say. It was great. So that was probably one of my best memories of doing the podcast.
One of the things that's going to come up here pretty soon is the helmet debate about wearing a helmet, not wearing a helmet.
Don't wear them.
No, and we're not even debating about it. What we're going to talk about is the stupidity when we were riding about
rationale of wearing or not wearing one.
That you're going to put it on all of a sudden because you're riding, what was it, on the freeway instead of the back roads or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's more dangerous or something.
You always got to wear your helmet.
So, hey, LD, go ahead.
The plan was the dangerous high speeds. Never mind the twisties in the forest. That was not helmet worthy, apparently.
Right. And we were on our trip, and that's when you guys said, I'm going to wear my helmet now because we're on the freeway. We're all like, that doesn't make a lot of sense because you've been doing like 70 on state routes, and now just because you're doing 75 on a freeway, it's more dangerous or something. Doesn't make it. The twisties with the forest and the deer were more dangerous.
Yeah, I try not to wear a helmet ever, and then I'll never wear a full face.
And you tend not to wear helmets even though you're not sure if it's a helmet state or not, dude. And then you end up wasn't that you?
He got a lot of claps for the never wear a full face.
Apparently, Nevada is a helmet state.
Ooh.
But if you pass a trooper while you're passing another vehicle at a high rate of speed, they will not bother coming after you.
Jesus, dude.
I found out about 300 miles later that it was a helmet state, and I go, oh, shit. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's when you were on your coming back. Was that this year coming back from Sturgis? You just happened to be riding?
No, that when I rode to Vegas.
Oh, that's right. And so we're at the point where we just played the Ed clips, and then do you remember reminiscing about when I moved from the closet, and we're reminiscing about when I moved to the office and the mic stands and the folded chairs and just how cramped we were in there, dude? You remember those days?
I remember those days.
Great.
Yeah, we're in
That's awesome.
Location. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, this is the third location.
Yes. And you haven't even been up here, dude. So LD, he was working an LEO job, but he was more Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And so it was harder to get him up here, but now he's back to a shift where he's kind of bumping around. And so we're hoping to get you back in the studio, brother.
Yeah. When I was going to message you, when are we going to do that? The video you were asking about last week. Are we going to do that this next week?
I can.
Hit me up.
Okay, I will. And LD, we're all and around here, guys, we're always doing the YouTube videos, just if not more than the podcast. And these guys bend over backwards to get over here and drink a few beers and have cigars and let me do my high-tech productions, and I have them turn a wrench. I actually did one by myself yesterday. I took it old school, back to my roots.
Put it on tripod and got her done.
In order to get this content done, I sometimes and it sucks.
It's the time of the year, the weather. It's hard to ride.
Right. And I just had to go back to my roots. And it used to be easy when I started because it was just an old video camera on a tripod and I didn't care about shots or angles or lighting and audio. Dude, trying to do that by yourself, it reminded me, but I still pushed through and it was frustrating. But I pushed through because I want to get the content out to the audience, and there's just a schedule and I can't waste days. And yesterday was a long day for me. But it really made me realize how much I already appreciate you guys when you guys can come over and give a hand, because that turned what normally would be a 2-hour project when I'm videoing it and you guys can wrench, it turns into a 4.5. When you're doing it by yourself, it turned it into an 8-hour project. Something that and that's the thing, about the different YouTube channels and the podcast, most guys aren't willing to put in and I tell myself that sometimes the reason that that we're doing well is because I'm willing to do what, and you guys are willing to do what other people aren't willing to do, and just keep pushing forward. So we appreciate you. Got just a big ass head. Don't stare at me like that.
Little hands thing. What's this deal? There's like numbers next to it.
Yeah, that's Blab, you moron.
You're getting claps. Like
people
likes.
Those are like likes, and they're clapping.
They like
for
what
you.
You're saying.
All right. Sounds good. I'm seeing them. I just pushed it a couple times. I didn't know what it was.
You're clapping for yourself, you moron.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
You dick. I did it on your little picture.
Well, thank you.
Hey, LD.
Yeah.
You got any requests for our upcoming meeting later this month? Any food or beverage requests?
Ribs and any beer. I don't.
No, I'm the rib guy. He can't do ribs.
Bullshit. He does them just as good. He does them different.
Ribs? Steaks? What do you want?
Ribs.
Okay, ribs and beer.
Yep, just lots of beer.
Got it.
All right, LD.
I think I did the first video on my bike when we did the oil change.
You did.
Yours.
And we were reminiscing about that, how I was still in a splint and how I started this whole thing. And you came over and I just, with one hand, did an old crappy video camera with crappy lighting and crappy audio. Still are one of our most popular videos to date.
I don't even know if there was lighting on that one.
No, there was no lighting. It was just whatever lighting was available.
Yep.
And that's when we knew. And while we're talking about that, at that time when I started the podcast, I had no idea that I was going to do a YouTube channel. And we did that one video, and it blew up. It blew up the YouTube channel. I was like, "Are you serious?" I didn't even put any effort, but the way we instructed being regular bikers in a garage, and we talked about this BD Kane with a big motorcycle company the other day, that how they like what we do and how it's produced, but it's not, I produce the heck out of it now, but it's not overproduced, and it still has the vibe of we're real bikers.
It's almost like they're with you working on the bike.
Yes.
That's what I feel when I watch. I feel like I'm right there in the studio working on that bike with you.
Yes. And would you rather have a company, and these companies even realize that, a big motorcycle company put out their own overproduced video, nobody's going to watch it. Just like our Fuel Pack 3, we have 10 times, 20 times the views that Vance and Hines has on their own Fuel Pack video. The reason is
their video doesn't tell you shit.
It doesn't tell you shit, number one. Number two, bikers they realize that Vance and Hines they're never going to say anything bad about their own product. They're not, and they don't know how to instruct it. And we're bikers, and people relate to that. They're like, those are some real guys giving real information, doing it. I can do it.
Yeah, there's always somebody out there that's second guessing what we're doing, or a certain way, but
very few.
Yeah, very few. But there's always, well, you should have done this, or or what's the torque specifications for this? You get a little bit of that, but overall, everybody loves it. And when you have companies telling you, you guys are 2, 3, 4 bikers that are literally putting together this video, and it makes the person feel as though they can do it. I mean, you think, how hard is it really? I mean,
lots of claps
to put 13-inch handlebars on an Ultra Limited or a Road Glide or whatever, where you have to take it completely apart. Most people will never ever tackle that. Most people will never. They'll go to the dealer and they'll pay the money for it. We do the video because we've done them so many times, and we get all the time people emailing us. Jesus, man, thank you so much. I've saved so much money. I just watched the video a couple times. I went out there, had the laptop playing as I was doing it. I never thought I'd be able to do this. So that's what's cool for me anyways. I mean, because it's one thing to sit in your garage and do it yourself. It's a whole nother thing when you're putting out a product that people love.
Awesome.
Another thing, Rick, is I bet you if you were to take your bike for handlebars to 10 different Harley mechanics, I bet you 6 and maybe do it one way and 4 and do it a different way. So the fact that people say, oh, there's a different way to do it. Yeah, there probably is, but this is how we're doing it because this is how we know how.
Awesome, LD. Well said, BD Kane. And Robbie, thanks, buddy, for coming in. If you don't have any parting comments, I'm going to boot you out and we're going to take an intermission.
No, I'm good. Have fun, boys.
Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Love you,
later, man.
All right, later.
Real quick, I just want to take a poll, and we've got some people. We've messed over time. It's only been in the last year and a half that we started doing live stuff. We do the live audio, which is cool experience. But now we've been testing this Blab thing, and unfortunately, it crops us. I can barely get the studio, in here just right. But we do have an extra mic. We only have 3. So if you lean back just a little bit, BD Kane, you see how you can see Jake just fine. You can see Matt. You can see me. If I'm hugged up next to my computer, we're getting some claps. I'm just asking the audience, would you rather us continue just the audio live, or do you guys like this Blab platform that when we do live episodes, we just use the Blab and chat right in Blab and all that kind of stuff? I'm waiting for to see if you don't clap, I get it. We can just do the audio. So we got in some comments.
The one time when you were live, I think with Dar and with Big Daddy, I downloaded the Blab and started playing with it. And as a user, I liked the Blab.
It's got the app that you can do on your iPhone. You can do it on a desktop, unlike Periscope. And the thing about Blab is we can let people in, like call into the show. That allows the audience that we can, if we have time and depending on the episode, we can let people call into the show. And I think I think people really enjoy that. What are some of the comments saying? Are people liking it?
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Blab may be less stable as of now. Mm-hmm. Some people say it's in beta, guys. It's in beta. And I get it. But generally speaking, we've got the 2 platforms. And so sometimes it's audio, sometimes it's video, and it has cause some confusion. And when we're live with the audio, we're chatting in a different, it might be easier just to go to all Blab. What's the
cool thing about this is that people can jump in and talk. I really like this part of it.
And they seem to be liking that too.
Yeah.
From the comments I'm seeing.
Yeah. And
it's a way for us to take callers, if you will.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that we've been doing it as an experiment of giving different avenues, but with this, somebody can come in and maybe catch us live that when they can, but when they can't, then we still got the podcast that they can listen to later. And I think they like that. We get those comments where they say, yeah, I'm going to miss the live, but I'll catch you on the podcast. So I think it's a good thing.
No, and I agree. We'll always do live one way or another. We're always going to do it in podcast format later. That's, but I guess I was wondering which platform to use.
I like the Blab better than the first one you had me.
Just the audio player?
Yeah. As an audio guy doing the audio side of it, when people jump in and talk on Blab and the way, whatever setup you got going on, the audio sounds better and it, there's less problems with it. So I think I like it better.
All right.
Just from the audio editing side. Like with Greg here, Greg's out on that island in the middle of the Pacific somewhere. And on the last episode, I think he came in via Skype. And,
he did.
And he crackled a little bit here and there and came in and out. And through our software, we made it pretty good. But this time when he was talking, he was still out there in the same place. And he was using his phone, and it sounded pretty good.
Yeah, it didn't have a lot of lag either on the video portion.
Everybody's saying Gregory actually more fun with video. True. Everything's right here. They can chat in here. They can call in from here. And you can get a glimpse of the studio and a glimpse of us, even though it chops it. And I'm trying to fit everybody in. It's kind of difficult. And I was telling you, Matt, it actually is much more wide view camera that I'm running, but Blab crops it so bad. I think we're getting a lot of claps. And that's what we do. We try to let our audience make the decision on what they like. And we're just seeing a lot of positive feedback. And I get it. It's in beta, but it's just getting better every day. This company they realize how powerful. This is more powerful to me than even Periscope. This is the new, because it can be used. Periscope's only on phones. I think Periscope has its place, but I think this for podcasters is going to be huge. And the company knows that they're dumping a phenomenal amount of effort into it. So I think going in to 2016 here, I think we're going to do more Blabs, guys, instead of just the audio. Okay, Mark McDermott says, I agree, Ryan. Great potential. Drag NOCT. Worked way better, Yannick. It's all, I'll get there. Great potential. I think so. Anyways, we're getting a lot of good. So I think going into 2016, instead of the audio player, we'll kind of dump that aside and we'll start just doing it just like this with the camera. It's not a high definition. It is an HD camera, but it gives you guys a glimpse. It's, with the bandwidth, if I got, anyways, I won't get into the techie stuff. I'll figure that out. But
based on what I'm hearing on our private chat here, we're going to have to teach Oscar and Chewy how to do it.
Yeah. How to get the Blab app.
Yeah. They wanted to
watch. It's real tough.
They wanted to call in. To do it. I don't know how.
Just grab geez, it's so ridiculous.
I don't think you have your phone hooked up so they can't call in, can they? Chewy?
No,
yeah,
no.
That's what I told them. I said, use Blab.
Just tell them to get the Blab app and find the Law Abiding Biker podcast, and then it just has a big, huge button there. Join.
We'll have to.
LD figured it out, for God's sakes. If LD can figure it out, then
we might have to hook Chewy and Justin up.
Yeah.
Oscar.
Well,
do it for him.
Just tell them if you get a chance. Just tell them, just get the Blab app. It's free, and look for Law Abiding Biker podcast, and then there's a big button there that says join. Anyways, we will continue, guys, with the Blab into 2016 and maybe kind of ditch the audio, and then we can chat right here and have a good time. So with that said, let's go ahead and let Jim Demetrius, Matt, this is on you. He's been waiting a long time, so let me see if and this is some of the beta stuff that they're trying to work out the bugs. If somebody waits too long, it just doesn't want to connect and it boots them, and then they have to ask for another seat, and I have to get them within a certain amount of time, or, it did. It connected.
There he is.
It's all you.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
All right. Can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear. Lima Charlie, my friend. So you were the one, I believe, on the Facebook, the private patron Facebook page that mentioned that we did the 75th anniversary of Sturgis and our 75th podcast, as well as our 100th patron, which is actually the 100th Facebook person, and our 100th episode. So what were you calling Ryan?
Oh, I just think he's seeing the future, and I wanted to know what the lotto numbers were this week.
So you got any tip there, Ryan, on the upcoming lotto numbers? You got any favorite numbers that Jim can use?
77777.
3.
That's good at the casino.
Yeah, right.
So, Jim, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you found us.
Well, I found you in May, June of 2013 because that's when I learned how to ride. And I looked up on YouTube and found how to work on a motorcycle because I was going to be buying one later that summer. And there's this guy called Ryan that's showing people how to work on their motorcycles and doing it down to earth style. I went, hey, I think I can do that. Worked on my car. I think I can do this too.
So
I sent him a couple of emails and he responded back very quickly and said, hey, try this, try this, try this. And I went, thanks. And I've been thanking him ever since.
So you kind of jumped right on at the beginning there because we got on March 15th, 2013 is kind of when we started rolling. So you jumped in right at the beginning.
Yeah, it was not too many episodes I had to catch up on. It was fun to listen to him in the closet and coming out of the closet.
Well, he says he's out of it, but we think he's still in it. Jim is heavily involved on the Facebook page and through email, and we really appreciate your involvement, Jim. And did you guys meet Jim out in Sturgis? I can't remember. I didn't get to go on that trip.
Yes, we.
Yeah, I was bummed you couldn't be there, Lurch.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I made every summer trip, every guy's trip, but I had a choice to make. My wife's 40th birthday was last year, and so I had to take my first vacation pick in April. We went down to Napa, and because of that, somebody else took that time frame, and I didn't get to go. So it was a tough choice, but I wanted to stay married.
Probably good choice.
So what are you riding? I didn't get the chance to meet you, so it's cool to see and chat with you here on the Blab. Tell us what you're riding these days.
Well, I've got a 2006 Road King police bike that I bought off of eBay. It was a little bit of used and abused out of Plantation, Florida, but it served me well as my first bike. And if you've noticed on the other private page and on Facebook, my brand new 2016 Road King police bike is in the Harley shop just off the truck Thursday.
Yeah, I just saw that today, actually, before I came over here. That's a good-looking bike.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Rick's trying to show a picture of it on his phone up to the Blab camera. So what do you plan on doing to that new bike? You got any wishes and dreams before it shows up? I mean, I'm sure if you're like the rest of us, you've already got a piece of paper with all the stuff written down you want to do to it. What do you plan on doing to that thing?
Well, heated grips are going on. The saddlebag guards are going on. It would be nice to find somebody who can do a nice gold pinstriping job on it because the 2006 has a nice gold double pinstripe job that somebody put on it. I don't think it came from the factory that way, but it's nice looking. And I've got that custom box that everybody oohs and ahs that goes on the back.
Yeah, you made that thing yourself, didn't you? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, a friend of mine builds kayaks and canoes out of lap straight red cedar, western red cedar. And when I saw him build those kayaks, I went, "Hey George, think you can show me how that's done so I can build a box for the back of my bike?" And he went, "Yeah." So we whaled one, which got trashed on Route 66, and I built another one that Ryan saw out at Sturgis, and that's the one that's on there right now.
Are you going to be able to use it on both bikes, or are you going to make some type of... I know that when I moved from my 2008 to my 2015, I was able to use my trunk, but I had to switch out the adapter. Are you going to switch it out, or are you just going to keep that on your old bike?
The nice thing about this, it can go onto any bike that has a flat panel in back, which the police bike does. So I just have to change, when I see it, where the bolt holes are and just drill some new holes and plug the old ones.
Now, is that police bike like the Peace Officer Special Edition, or is it one that they're selling for as like a police patrol bike?
It has to technically not be sold to me for 60 days because it's a police bike.
Okay.
Harley had a special deal on police bikes through the dealerships, and they found out about it, and they knew I was looking, and they said, "Well, how about this and this?" And I went, "Okay."
Well, Jim, I'm looking underneath your seat, and I found a little tag underneath that says you want a biker gripper. So we're going to send you out a biker gripper for that new bike.
Thank you. That was next on my list to get from Ryan, so that will come in very handy.
And let me just say real quick, to the audience about Jim, who's a patron supporter. Did we get the access to the heated grips video for you, brother?
Yeah.
Okay. So Greg's at a level at our top tier patron where he gets access to all of our for purchase videos up on request, and he just sends us an email like they all do that have that level, and then we send him a coupon code for 100% off, and then they have lifetime access to that video. And he's talking about the heated grips. So we appreciate it, and he's just a patron supporter, and he's always supporting us with everything he does. And so I have have no problem sending you without hesitation a biker gripper buddy of your choice for your support. What model do you want? Do you want the Control? And if you guys are interested in the biker gripper, just head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. All our biker gripper brands and colors, chrome and black and all that are over there. But which one are you thinking? If you don't know, it's okay. But do you know?
Control grip in black.
Okay. Control mount black. Lurch is typing it down right now. And we already have all your address and patron, and so you don't need to send us an email.
Okay.
You got that, Matt?
Got it.
All right, Roger. And Jim, like always, it's lovely seeing your smiling face, brother. I really appreciate you and everything you do, and it was so awesome meeting you in Sturgis, and thanks for coming into the Blab and interacting with us, brother.
Yeah, I think I have a place to stay for maybe a couple hours when I come up to Yakima this summer.
You got it. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And you know, when you come up here, brother, you need to get a hold of me, and I will do whatever I can. One of us will be around, and if I even have to try to get a little vacation time so you can come up and sit in the actual studio and see what's going on here and see the garage, and we can go on a ride or lunch or something. Just give me some notice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, man.
Trying to make Alaska this year, but that's still in question, but I'm trying to.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate it. God bless.
Ride safe, man.
Take care, Jim. Pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
I feel bad booting him out of the room. It makes me feel way too much control, dude. It's kind of creepy, Jake.
Oh, yeah. He was
over here just booting people out. Nice people.
Was Jim the one that helped do some repairs on somebody's speaker?
He was helping with... I know he was helping with Baker.
It was Baker. What did Baker have going on?
It was with his trunk and stuff. Yeah. He had an issue with it. Was something
a borrowed trunk.
Yeah, something had broken off, and they sat down and figured out how to fix it, and it was fun to see.
Yeah, real handy guy.
Yeah, there's a picture of it. I remember LD showing me, and him and Justin are sitting down on the ground or something like that, working on it.
Yeah, and that's the kind of relationship we've developed, which if we have time, we'll talk about patrons later. Of course, we want to. That's the kind of relationship we have with our patrons, guys, where we go to different cities and ride. We actually put that information out. And Sturgis was more of an official meetup than we've ever had because we knew there was going to be a lot of people there. But we're riding probably to Colorado area this and this year, and LD has already been in contact. You guys can get a hold of us. We'll put out some more information on that as it gets closer. But, you know, we always like to just roll through and meet you guys, and we're very open to that. We actually want to meet you. It's not about meeting us. I actually want to meet you guys, and I want to have lunch with you and ride with you if it works out and stuff like that. It's really about getting out there and meeting you guys because I have a lot of good stories on that. So through the years of meeting these people in the different states that we ride to and stuff. All right, let's take a quick. Let's thank a sponsor that BD Kane has worked very hard. That's right, Bikaholics. This episode brought to you by our friends over at Biker Planet. They obviously care about the biker community by supporting this very show. So what do you say we show them some love, huh? Biker Planet, it's more than just the largest niche biker dating site. It's an entire social community of bikers, even if you're not interested in dating. Looking for a dating relationship? Well, then find a dating relationship with someone that loves motorcycles and the lifestyle just like you. Not looking for a date? No problemo. Then just head over there and connect with bikers around the world. Plan rides, meetups, or heck, just socialize. The website is super clean and user-friendly. Chat, search, see who's online, browse photos, check your own private mailbox. That's right, no commitment, and it's free to check out. Use our special custom link, though, so you get all the perks and a lifetime discount of 50% should you choose to become a full member. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/bikerplanet. That is the link to use. All right, so should we play another... Again, Open Blab, we've given away 4 prizes. That's pretty cool. I like it. And, and just great stuff giving Jim Demetrius a biker gripper. That's a super awesome thing.
Be a nice gift for his new bike.
Oh man, he deserves it, and God bless him, dude. He is so involved with everything. That just makes me feel like we can give something back for all that he's given to the Law Abiding Biker podcast and the community and all that. So what do we got here? We got Cuz's ramblings, and then we got an audio. So I wish I had more time to do this. It's not that I don't like doing it, but this was a Bikaholic therapy skit. I used to do, Rick, I don't know if you went back that far. I used to do these little audio skits, and in this particular one, all of them, I did all the voices. I was just trying new stuff, and I was testing the waters. And I actually asked Matt if he ever had time, because he does some really good voices too.
They don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, that one. See? Oh, I love it, dude. And I did these voices, and I did a couple of these skits, and I put them out in between regular podcast episodes. I'm so busy with the YouTube videos now. It would have to be something that you guys wrote up, a little skit you wanted to do in the different voices, and I have fun with them. I put background noises like walking, closing doors. Just, I really produce it. And Lurch, you should probably get into some of that.
I really enjoy this one now more than I did at the time. I don't think I appreciated it as much at the time, but now when I listen back, I listen to it. When I was getting ready to pull all these clips for this thing made me laugh. I really had a good time.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think the hardest I've laughed in my life in the past 3 years was that one that we did on the voicemail with BD.
Oh,
that might come up a little bit later.
I'm having a feeling it will. But you guys, and I know I got so much good feedback on these skits, and I've only done 2 of them.
Let it rip, Tater Chip.
I will. And if you guys ever want to do skits, or you come up with a good idea before a podcast, we'll rip it out. We'll do all the sounds, and then Lurch can really test his audio editing skills and put in background noises and
that'll take my skills to a whole new level.
You need to do that.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
So these takes a long time to put together. This is an old one. And
oldie but a goodie.
Here we go.
Well, folks, let's go ahead and get started with today's session of Bikaholics Anonymous. Yes, the door is open. Please come in.
I'm trying, damn it.
Well, hello, Rodney. Class, this is Rodney. Rodney is brand new, and he will be sitting in on Bikaholics Anonymous with us tonight. Have a seat, Rodney.
Shut up, you tool. I'd rather be sitting on my motorcycle.
Well, okay, Rodney. That's a good start. We'll just get in touch with our inner feelings. Okay, class.
I'll show you my inner feelings when I piss on your floor.
Okay, Rodney. I can feel some negative energy from you. Let's go ahead. This is part of the therapy. Let's go ahead and just let's take a deep breath in and let it out very slow, Rodney. Okay, class. Even though Rodney has headphones on, let's go ahead and welcome him to Bikaholics Anonymous.
Okay, now you're gonna piss me off. I'm trying to listen to the best biker podcast ever.
Welcome to Bikaholics Anonymous, Rodney.
Are you people
It's so weird that your daughter's in Bikaholics Anonymous.
Rodney,
no doubt.
We know you're a bikeaholic. What is your specific addiction?
I can't stop listening to this biker podcast.
And what podcast is that?
The Law Abiding Biker Podcast, you moron. You know, Lab Media.
Okay, Rodney. Now we're getting somewhere. That is why we are all here. We are all addicted to the Law Abiding Biker Podcast.
You should listen to the latest episode, you bag.
Well, okay, class. Rodney does have a good point. The Law Abiding Biker Podcast is the best biker podcast.
Then let's cut the bullshit, grab a beer, and listen to the Lab Podcast. Don't be a quitter. Embrace your addiction.
Okay, Rodney, I'm starting to lose control and I don't know if I can stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, class, it looks like Rodney brought enough for everybody.
Yeah, crank it up.
Orale, Hans. I like this essay.
Who wouldn't?
I'm liking him too.
Oh,
now
my
this
God.
is therapy.
Okay, class, let's brace our addiction. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Damn right, Hoss. Okay, class, let's just kick back and listen to the latest episode of the Law-Abiding Biker Podcast.
So man up and don't be a Make sure and listen to every episode of the Lab Podcast. Nobody likes a quitter. Be proud to be a bikaholic. Hoo-wah!
There you go, guys.
Channeling your inner Beavis. I love that.
Yeah. And I did another one of those with even more voices, and that was all me. And I was just testing the waters, and I really enjoy, scripting that like I do our YouTube videos, a storyboard and kind of where I see it going and a theme and a story. And those are two. And the other one was the marijuana teaser, episode teaser.
It seemed silly at the time because we were just getting started. That's why I'm saying I really enjoy listening to it now. I appreciate it a lot more than I did back then at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I had no idea what I was doing, and I still don't for the most part. But and if we get time to do those in the future, I'm just out of time. And doing the YouTube channel and everything, I used to have some more time to do audio. But if you guys ever want to do a skit like that and you have good voices, script it up, and we'll do all the sound recordings and then give it all to Lurch to make it into full-scale production, so to speak, because that takes a lot of time.
Yeah, I'll do it.
That'd be fun. That'd take your audio producer skills to the next level, brother, for sure. I've heard that sound there, Jakey, before.
A couple times.
Had you ever heard that, Jakey?
No, I hadn't. And I had listened to, I thought, a lot of them, but I knew I had missed a few. Now I need to go back to the early ones.
If you go to lawabidingbiker.com and go to podcasts, you can go all the way back to the first one. Some of the podcast apps don't go all the way back, but if you go to the website, you can go all the way back to one. And that's where I got this stuff from, is I went to our website and I went through the podcast flag or tab or whatever you want to call it. And I went all the way back to the first one, and they're in their sequential, and you can listen to them from the beginning.
And the other best way to do that besides the website,
lay it on me,
is the app.
Yes.
So iTunes only shows you the last 50. And
I guess I did it because I needed to download them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You actually needed the physical
right. I had
files.
to download them.
But I'll tell you guys, if you want to back catalog everything, you got to get our free app, lawabidingbiker.com/app. It's free for Android and Kindle and iPhone and iOS. And it's really the best experience when you're going to consume our content.
And who provides that for everybody?
The patrons. That's right. Oh, yeah. Taking care of us, because it is not free. It's free to you, the end user, but it's not free for us to keep up to date and coding and all that kind of stuff. But you can back catalog forever. And the show notes are right in there. You can push the call button. You can email us right in from the app. It's really a no-brainer if you're going to be a consumer of this podcast.
And some podcasts charge you to go back and listen to the old ones. Not us. It's all there. It's forever. As long as we're there, you can listen to it later on. Some places you got to pay a premium price to get in there and listen to the old ones, but that's not how we roll.
Very true. And I could set that up, but I don't.
No, because you're not a dick.
Yes, I leave it free for everybody, because I know those that appreciate it will hook up on Patreon and let us know that they really appreciate. I'd rather have them do it that way.
Yeah, that's one of the big things we hear. Cody, the guy that got you guys your pizza, he's like,
William Cody Case.
Yeah, he's like, hey man, when's the next one coming out? I got addicted and I've gone through all of them out truck driving, man. Hurry up and come out with another one. And that's pretty cool to hear that.
That's for William Cody Case.
About every 10 days or so is what we shoot for. It just depends.
And the app is unbelievably easy to use. I listen to that solely now, exercising or running. That's it. And just download a new one every time it's easy.
Yeah, it is. And it's super stable. It's just so stable, that particular app. But the show notes are there, hot links and everything in between. Lurch, we don't have anybody in the Blab hot seat. Okay. Nobody wants to come in right now, but you're welcome to grab a seat if you want in the Blab and say hi and see if let me move this for you.
Oh, I got it up here on my laptop.
Okay, I'm seeing the audio clip head first into a wall, but there's two links.
Oh, there is two links. One is just me talking about, we had a discussion about helmets and whether you should wear them or not wear them. And I said, why don't you just run head first into a wall without a helmet and then run into it again with the helmet on? You tell me which one hurts worse. So that's the first clip. The second clip is, I believe it's LD and Popeye and maybe a little bit of you just talking about helmets and when you should wear them, when you shouldn't wear them. So I just play one and then the other, and then we can BS about it.
And we'll play this clip. I see Mark McDermott is waiting in the hot seat in Blab, and we'll get to you just in a moment, Mark. Let's listen to this. I wonder if there's any collision data on that, because I'm very interested on that. So we'll see what we can find for you guys to a little bit extend this topic a little bit as far as how effective helmets are.
I'll give you some data. Go run your head into a wall real quick and then put a helmet on and go run into it again. Tell me which one hurts.
Straight up from Lurch. Straight up from
Just
Lurch.
take a running head start into a wall with no helmet on. Tell me how it feels.
You're
Then
right.
put your helmet on and run into it.
You get 2 for that, dude. You're right.
It's funnier when you preempt it. I was like, okay, what the way you said it is hilarious. So
it's like, listen, dumbass, do it.
Yeah, exactly. And funny. Now let's listen to the second clip. This is more of the discussion of helmets. And we're kind of taking it up. So I'll just tell you, as eventually we came out of the office, guys, we just outgrew it. And I had all the video gear and lights and I couldn't pack it in there anymore for our YouTube stuff. And I moved up into and took away half of my kids' bonus room. And they support me, my family, and they were okay with it. And now it's packed. As we look around, we've got DSLRs and prosumer and professional video cameras and light stands and tripods.
Big words.
Oh God, dude. And look at the lights over there. We've got boom mics and boom stands. It's just packed up here. And I've got mixers for the podcast and all kinds of racks of equipment and multiple computers. But they really, and now I've taken over, you notice? I'm starting to take over 3/4 of it. Look around.
You've pretty much got the whole thing taken.
See, I'm starting to creep over there.
Yeah.
And my family has been really good because they sacrifice a lot for us to do this.
We might have to build the kids a fort or something.
Yes.
Just build a little room out in the backyard. We can make them a little fort. Then go out and play in. Just move all this crap out there. They could have it. They could fly a pirate flag and just have a good time out there. And we'll just take over the whole thing.
Yeah.
We'll put a door on there. Your wife mentioned earlier, if we gave you a door, you'd probably never come out of the man cave. So if we can do that, we'll be set.
Yeah, I like it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. And I don't know where we're moving from here.
I know.
Yeah.
Eventually, ideally, we'd like to build a shop out.
Right.
You've got a spot for it. And when you built this house years ago, you had the plan of putting a shop up on the upper part of this property. And so if we could build a shop and put the podcast studio and a man room out there above the shop and get some of your toys and the bikes and everything, we can move the bikes and the lift up there and just make that shop the law-abiding biker podcast studio and a garage. That would be awesome, because then you can kind of the kids could have their house back and we could have the man room out there.
I like that talk, dude.
I think it'll happen someday. I think we're on the right path.
I do think to represent the demographics of your people that come in and do these podcasts with you, we need to fly a 12th man or Seahawk flag there, though.
Well, Ryan.
Is
Ryan
that
doesn't know.
Ryan doesn't care.
He doesn't know if that's football,
Is that a
soccer
soccer team
or baseball. He's
hockey. What?
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Apparently, your 12th man was not playing when you guys lost the last time.
You shut up.
I'm just saying, where was your 12th man? Where's the 12th man? Because he wasn't around.
Well, apparently Cam Newton stole our flag.
And I don't even care about
Threw it on
football,
the ground.
but I just like busting people's balls at work about that. I'm like, where's the 12th man? Where's the 12th man? Apparently he wasn't around. He took the day off because you guys lost. And I didn't even know, dude. I heard like 4 days later that the Seahawks lost. I was like, oh, that sucks. All right. Anyways, back to what I'm doing. That's about how much I care about it.
I wish I didn't care as much as I do. It gets my blood pressure up when they're not playing well.
That's what's so funny, guys.
Yeah.
You guys, I love it. Everybody's passionate about something. I'm just like, man.
Yeah, I don't.
You guys get so passionate
I'm
about
not a
that.
nut that watches every football game. I don't care about other teams. I just like our team.
Yeah, but
I just watched the Seahawks. I couldn't give a crap about any other team.
How bad did you feel when they lost the Super Bowl? Man, I'm telling you.
That was a bummer.
It destroyed me for about 3.5 weeks.
Jeez,
my wife kept saying
it bothered me for about a half a day, and then I was over it.
Destroyed. I was emotionally ruined for life.
Oh, I'm telling you. My wife was like, well, this is just a game. Well, we're totally off topic now. Sorry.
I don't care.
There's no such thing as just a game, motherfucker. Don't you understand this?
That's what I said. It's just a game. The fuck you said?
2 F-bombs in 30 seconds. Nice work, boys. But was that from a movie? Rick, I don't know where that came from. You threw out.
I got emotionally.
Oh, okay.
I got emotionally invested.
I thought maybe you threw out
some
a quote.
comedy there for a second with Jake, and I just went off.
I thought you threw out. Some
It was a little bit of.
It
It was a little bit of mix of Chris Farley and the Man Down by the River kind of thing, maybe
A little bit of Scarface too, I think.
Yeah. Say hello to me, little friend. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Let's bring Mark McDermott in to the conversation here, who's been standing by.
Did you play the helmet
Rick,
clip?
this is all you. I will.
Okay.
We got to bring our patrons in, man.
Word.
You there, Mark?
There he is. All right, it's all you.
You there, Mark?
Okay, how's that?
All right, good. We can hear you. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing great. How about you guys?
Oh, we're doing good. We're celebrating the 100th episode here, and we spent this morning doing a little bit of work and stuff. What are you up to today, other than listening right now?
Well, I've been listening since the beginning, and just been a great job that you guys have been doing.
Well, we've been talking a lot on the Facebook patron site and stuff like that. Yep. What do you find? What do you find is the best part about Lab? Is it the videos? Do you like the podcasts? I mean, I know you like a little bit of everything, but what do you think best helped you when you first got involved listening?
The podcasts. That's for the entertainment value has been phenomenal. I discovered Ryan probably the end of this last December, and what I was looking for was information on the Fuel Pack 3 and the Power Vision, because I have a 2014 Ultra Limited that I've got the Power Vision, and then a 2015 Fat Boy that I put the Fuel Pack on. And just wanting to know how to use them was started doing YouTube, saw the YouTube stuff, then went to the podcast, and frankly got hooked on the podcast. I've heard every one of them now, just in the last probably 10 weeks, and actually have gone back and listened to some of them over again.
What's the where you picture yourself going now? You said you've got the 2015 Fat Boy, and tell us a little bit about. We like to always hear about, and I think our followers like to hear it too. Tell us a little bit about your motorcycling history.
I go back to the early 70s and started out really with the metric bikes. Honda CB350 was my first one. Then went to a 750. Had a couple of Kawasaki's. In probably my first Harley was a 1997 Heritage Softail Classic, which I still have. And then bought a BMW sport touring bike, the K1200 RS. That kind of put me into the friskier side of motorcycles. Found that I very quickly, with that bike, outrode my abilities. Actually took it off-road a couple times. Didn't crash it, but took it off-road. And from that, I figured if I'm going to be involved in riding frisky, that I better take some classes. So I went to the 3-day MotoGP class from Kevin Schwantz. And then I went to all 4 classes from Keith Code. And then I took 2 classes from Freddie Spencer. And in fact, I think I was in his last class that he did. And that got me into sport bikes. So I bought a Honda CBR 1000RR and really got hooked on sport bike riding. Did that for quite some time, and then moved into this last year, the 2014 Ultra Limited, which I just absolutely love, and then went with the Fat Boy, for that experience. But through all of this, I still have my my Heritage, and I take that out every once in a while. I kind of refer to that as my Triple T bike, or the tavern to tavern bike. Where I'm going in the future, I probably will stay kind of combination between sport bike and the touring bike.
Yeah, I had a 99 Heritage, and it's amazing how the Harleys have evolved. I mean, I remember that 99 Heritage taking it to Sturgis, and it was so rough, and it was so wobbly and everything. And then you get on like these new Rushmore bikes, and it takes a lot of that. You said we were talking, in fact, the other night, I think it was last night or maybe this morning, I was telling you I'd like to hear more about the sport bike, because a lot of people think, because we have Harleys. A lot of people think that that's all we're about, but we try to bring in other brands, other types of riding and stuff like that. We just, unfortunately for our videos, we deal with what we've got. So it's kind of cool to listen to you talk about your classes and the sport riding. What's the one thing that you think of all the different bikes you've ridden? And I know that you say you love your Triple T, but when you get down to it and you went to those classes, did the sport biking and I saw the picture with you almost down to the ground, you had your knee down and stuff like that. Did that make you a better rider overall? Or was that just like a phase that you kind of went through and now you're over it? I mean,
Nope. I did it just because I wanted to learn. Like I said, I went off-road a couple times. I did the typical classic where, you get a powerful bike and, you quickly find that your limits are nowhere near what the bike can do. And, my comment's always been anybody can ride a motorcycle fast, but at some point you have to turn. And that's where I was having issues, was turning. I wasn't comfortable leaning the bike over. And the other thing is I wasn't looking far enough ahead. I was watching the wrong place. And those are probably the two areas that I think most bikers have issues with. Instead of looking where you want to be, you're looking where where you're at. And of course, your brain can't deal with that as quickly as if you'd looked, several hundred feet down the road. And then have confidence in the bike. One thing I did walk away with is, I don't have a problem dragging my knee. In fact, I actually love dragging my knee. For an old guy, I actually do it pretty well. However, I think what I probably learned, the best thing that I learned was to believe in your machine and keep your eyes way ahead of where you're going.
Very cool. Very cool. Hey, we're going to start to wrap it up. We got some other stuff that we're going to get to, but I definitely wanted to ask you about the sport bike stuff because I know you've made a lot of comments.
You know what? If we want, if you want to put together an episode with Mark McDermott and talk about that, you could always put that together and bring him on. You know what I mean? I think that's some fabulous. Just listening to him is pretty just freaking cool to listen to Mark. So yeah.
We'll see if we can, if you're up for that, because I think there's a lot of people we could interest with that. The interesting thing here, though, is little do you realize that underneath your seat, you have a sticker. And
all right.
Yeah, you got a sticker underneath there. So we're going to send you one of our brand new, beautiful, sexy, sleek, gorgeous mechanic shirts. So make sure that...
What size do you wear there, Mark? We've got all your address and everything, so we'll zip it out.
Because I just ordered one. Extra large.
You already ordered one?
Well, just give him a refund on the one he ordered. Just go in.
I was probably the first one that ordered one, like being the first one that ordered the headsets.
Well, there you go. That's what we're going to do.
I just shipped it. So,
did you really?
We'll just what we'll do, Mark, is we'll just
send me another one.
Okay, you want two of them?
Sure.
All right, we'll send you another. All right, there you go. Sweet. And Mark, God bless you and thank you for being involved and for being a top tier patron. If there's anything we can ever do for you, and we'll just keep getting to know you more and appreciate you being involved and especially taking the seat and going live with us and the calling in, dude. That means so much to us. And it's great to see your smiling face on the other end of that camera, brother.
Well, I've gotten a lot of value out of the pay for videos. I've gotten 5 of them now.
Awesome.
They have just helped me immensely, saved me a huge amount of time and heartache.
That's awesome, brother. Thanks again. We'll be in touch and we'll send you your shirt, okay?
Okay, thanks,
right,
Ryan.
later. You bet.
Thanks, Mark. It was good talking to you, brother.
Good talking to you, too.
All right. Seats open. Let's listen to this other clip reference motorcycle head into a wall.
We're getting ready.
Are there helmets required in Butte?
No.
Montana is a no helmet state.
So is Idaho and Wyoming.
Yep.
We rode in all 3 of those.
So we pretty much took off our helmets. A lot of us, some wore, some...
Well,
I chose to wear my helmet.
Some wore them on the freeway only.
This is... Oh, dude, that's exactly what I'm going to get at.
I feel safer. I'm wearing it on the freeway, okay?
This is before we got to Butte, actually.
So we're... Yeah, okay, so
We're in Idaho.
When you get there, don't forget about it.
Well, no, the helmet deal was in in Idaho.
As soon as you get to Idaho, you take off the helmet.
Yeah. So we leave Lewiston, Idaho, and we ride north. We get on 90, and right before we get on 90, guys say, "Well, I'm going to put my helmet on for the freeway."
No, but we had already taken them off at that point.
I was still rocking mine.
No, most guys been off all day.
Right, mine. And we were tell the audience what we were riding. That we were riding curvy roads through the forest where there's possible deer, where there's construction at 60 miles an hour, which was the posted speed limit, and we were doing corners, and we were riding really confidently. No helmets, right?
I had mine on,
and you didn't.
No, I did too.
Okay, he did.
He did.
Okay,
me and Mario kept ours on.
All right. So then we make a stop, go ahead, and we're getting close to the freeway.
Right.
And somebody goes, "Let's put our helmets on." I go, "Oh, okay, we'll put them on for the freeway." Lee goes, "You're riding next to the trees. Now you're going to get on the freeway and put that thing on?"
Yeah, dude.
He makes a big old deal out of it.
Dude.
Popeye.
Just for Popeye. No, dude, but seriously, because he looked at me, and me and Popeye kept our helmets off, and I'm looking at him, and you're like, "Yeah, we're going to hit the freeway." And we look at you, and we're like, dude, we've been riding for like 8 hours without helmets on through curvy roads at 60 miles an hour with trees and where possible animals can run out. And now you're going to go on a wide open freeway at 70. And all of a sudden it's more dangerous on a freeway. I'm pretty sure you're better off without the helmet on the freeway and putting it on.
Okay, let me ask you this.
There's more cars.
Oh, jeez.
Was there a big, coming around some of those corners at the 75 mile an hour posted speed limit, were there huge divots in the road?
Oh, there was some gnarly. Montana needs.
There was one
freeways
that was wider than my tire. If my front tire would have got in that, I would have been screwed.
There was a couple that grabbed my
Dude,
front
you can't justify that.
No, there were.
I took it off the next stop, so shut up.
So obviously you put yours on the freeway. That's what he's getting.
Just
at.
for the first 50 miles.
Oh,
and then I
Lord!
took it off.
But in all seriousness, and Montana needs to tune up their interstate system because
they do.
There are some cracks in that. Put a little something in those because they'll swallow a front tire.
Yeah.
Montana. Hey, I want to put the Montana Department of Transportation on notice.
Oh, put them. You're on notice.
They are. What does that mean?
You put them on double notice, double notice, triple notice,
double notice,
triple notice them.
You do not want to be put on notice by this club.
Triple
I'll just
notice.
tell you that.
Do it.
Triple notice.
It's done.
Straight up.
We don't even know what that means, but it's real bad.
It's real bad. We hear. We put people on notice, but we're not sure what that means.
Your LD just breathing all over that microphone.
Oh my God. Just eating that microphone, dude, back in the day. And we were,
I think they were.
Did you hear that?
I think the Montana Department of Transportation were just put on double secret probation.
Yeah, exactly.
They were put on triple notice for their big cracks in the road. There was some that would literally grab your front tire. They were huge cracks.
Yeah, they were.
Get your shit together, Montana.
And that sound clip was, I don't even know what episode number, but that was
13,
LD.
if I remember right.
Wow, early. So we were with the new equipment, but still not to where we are today. And we're going to keep moving ahead, guys, and then we're going to wrap this thing down. We still got an open seat if anybody else wants to blab in. But so it was eventually we started getting some patron support. We started getting some donation support, and I saved my pennies, all of that. And then we moved up here. And it was right before I moved up here at the same time this all happened. I got a desk for up here, and then I really invested in more than a mixer. I invested in more microphones, professional microphones. Ooh, look who's in the room, Dan Jaffers.
Oh, Dan.
We'll bring Dan in just a minute. He's a very long-time supporter. And we got the professional equipment, the limiter gate and headphone amps and everything that you hear are quality as of today. I invested all that money back in to bring you guys even a better show, better procedures and production, and we bought some audio software that Lurch uses now to edit, and we continue to pay for that, and we continue to just dump it back in and see where we could take our quality compared to other podcasts out there, just way, not even to the next level, but 10 levels above everybody else. And so that's where we are at today with the equipment and stuff. So with that said, we did some funny episodes, and this was back on a little bit older equipment, but it's still a very funny episode. And you know what? Before we do that, Lurch, because that's one, we've only got two more. Let's, because Dan is such a supporter of the show, I'd really like to bring Dan into the conversation here. Let me see if I can get Dan on here. Dan, it's good to see you.
What's up, Dan?
Hey, really appreciate you being involved, brother. We're just going to God, it's good to see your face, man. I talk to you a lot and we communicate, and you're in the private Facebook group, but man, it's such a different experience when I can actually see you on that side of the video camera. And everybody here knows you by first name because you've been such a huge supporter of Law Abiding Biker Media, and we appreciate it. Why don't you tell what you're willing to tell about yourself, and then we'll go from there, brother.
I love riding motorcycles, and I love what you guys are doing. That's why I became a patron, and that's why I support your podcast and your website. I just got my Olympia rain pants in, waiting for El Nino to hit so I could actually put them on and dry them. I got new handlebars on my bike. I've been doing a lot more work now. I've saved myself like a shit ton of cash by just doing things myself. So I can't thank you guys enough for doing what you do.
And that is an official unit of measurement, by the way, a shit ton.
Absolutely. If you look it up in Wikipedia, a shit ton is
metric shit ton.
Yeah. Well, that's if you go metric. Standard is just a shit ton.
So we can.
There is a metric shit ton.
Here
as
in
well.
Europe or the US, it doesn't matter.
Imperial, I think, is the United States.
Right. Hey, Dan, how did you? I know you've obviously been such a longtime supporter and an early adopter of our platform, even when we weren't putting out probably as good audio and stuff. How did you come about us, man?
Because of the club that I'm in, you guys did an interview with someone, and I listened in, and I said, "Hey, these guys got it going on." And then after the Jacksonville incident, I really appreciated the fair and balanced reporting that you guys did on that.
Thanks, Dan, and that means a lot to me. And we've done a lot of interviews with a lot of different clubs, and we really appreciate those interviews. If any of you guys out there want to do a club interview, just get a hold of us. It's free, and we all learn from each other. And I've always learned from all the different club presidents and that I've interviewed. And especially, we try to report fair and balanced here, unlike a lot of the basement bloggers. If you see some of my recent articles about basement bloggers and about the Colorado incident, which we're going to do a podcast coming up here on that. I've written some articles. I'm not going to get deep into that, but we really do try to, there's just a lot of stuff put out there that is just so uncredible and unbalanced. And so we appreciate that hopefully we're bringing a side to it because, we are the motorcycle majority and we are the 99%ers and we should have a voice. And I hope, and that's a big responsibility for me, Dan, but I hope I do it. And I don't want to look like it's one side or the other. I hope I'm doing it in a way that says, yeah, he's fair. He hasn't made up his mind yet, kind of deal.
No, I've always appreciated the efforts that you guys put into giving everybody a fair shake, even the guys who probably sometimes don't deserve to have one. So that says a lot about you.
Oh, thanks, Dan. Now, Dan, I know because he's in the private patron Facebook group. I know he's got a few bikes. So without listing all your bikes, it might put you on the spot, but what's your favorite bike that you have right now?
My favorite bike's my CVO Road King, without a doubt, hands down, best bike I've ever owned. If the engine ever blows on it, I'm just going to stick another one on it. I love that thing so much.
And Dan, you guys got to see this thing. Dan has, you guys have seen it in the private Facebook group. It's a badass looking bike, and he's done some really cool stuff to it.
Yeah, it's been cool first of all, Dan's been pretty good to me.
Give Dan a wave in the camera.
He set me up with a couple of Mexican blankets for Project Cholo. And of course, he's got a project himself he's been talking about. So it's kind of cool to see that kind of go on. And that's something that's cool in there that people don't get to see. They get to see the paint jobs and stuff as people do these projects. Yeah, and that's the that's what's really cool is that people are hooking up in that Facebook group. And Dan went out of his way, and we're going to do a podcast on Project Cholo. You're working on a Cholo bike, and Dan was able to come up with some blankets, and you guys just hooked up, and that's just the stuff that is amazing in that private Facebook group that I see, guys connecting on a level like that. So, yeah, it's really taken its own, and it's the guys like him that aren't afraid to give their 2 cents, even if thing that's cool about it is they give their 2 cents, even if it sounds like it might offend somebody, and that's the way we are. We don't care, hey. I think that's ugly. Well, okay, whatever, it works out really good like that. And so it's kind of cool to see these guys do these projects and go from there.
Yeah, it is. And Dan's been very involved in there. So Dan, I know where you are. Just tease us with what the weather's like there today.
No, the reason I was late getting in on the Blab is because I was out on my bike. It was 70 some odd degrees. The sun was shining. It was beautiful.
You son of a.
All the guys here, we want to just tackle you right now. And and we're going to come back down your way, and we will definitely, man. I really want to have a cold one with you and just shake your hand, man, because it's just been awesome getting to know you, man. So yeah, we were busy today. It was a riding day, but not near. It was still in the low 30s here, wasn't it?
It snuck up around 50, but we've still got a lot of gravel on the road because they put gravel and stuff down and sand to keep the roads passable. And so it's kind of really not the best riding condition right now. Yeah. It's not 70 degrees and sunny.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's Southern California. What are you going to do?
Well, Dan, you ever get up this way, man? We got beers are on us. We got places for you and your brothers to stay, and come on up anytime you want.
I seriously appreciate that, you guys. I'll let you go.
Okay, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dan.
Right, bye. We didn't give Dan a prize, dude.
Dan can have whatever he wants. Dan is probably one of the biggest supporters.
Dan, I know you're still listening, and we didn't give you a prize. If there's something he knows, just ask us, and it shall come, because he's such a huge supporter. So he's top tier. He gets all the videos. We've sent him codes, and if he needs a T-shirt, he knows. Just get a hold of us. We're sending you a new T-shirt if it gets old. If you want a shop shirt, Dan, just email me. Sorry, I got sidetracked there because it was so fun talking to you. But if you need a shop shirt, send us an email, Dan, and we'll get you a shop shirt, brother. Don't pay for that. You're a top tier patron supporter, so that's how we take care of our patrons, guys. And I know he's got some coffee mugs of us and some other stuff. So
whatever you need, let us know. We'll send you some.
Yep, we'll take care of you. We take care of those patrons, man. And again, if you guys want to join, it's lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. And so where are we at here, Lurch? And as we wind it down here,
the beauty of flatulence.
Oh.
This is one of those ones we did just because you mentioned it earlier that sometimes we just do goofy shit just to have a good time and entertain ourselves. And I think in doing that, we entertain others. And so this is an episode where we didn't have anything specifically bike related. You found a funny story, and it was a story about a guy who was sexually aroused when women farted. Ooh. And so I don't know if you've heard this one. This is an older one. This is in the... It's definitely before 20. It's somewhere in the 15, 16 range. And it may be in the show notes. I don't remember. But the guy was sexually aroused by women farting. And so we had a really good time with that. So here it is.
Yeah. All right. So it was. And we may do more funny stuff like that, but we're so inundated with actual content. But it's fun. But people love this.
And this was in the beginning where we were trying to come up with content. And so we did things that we thought were funny or things we found. And now through Patreon and through the Facebook page, especially the members only, we get a lot of information sent to us, and we go out and search, and you've got your web crawlers out there sneaking around trying to find out what's going on in the motorcycle world. So we're a little more in tune with it. And this is kind of in the beginning where we're just trying to come up with something good. And this is some random story that he found. And it was Yumi and Cuz. Ed is his name. And it's just funny. If you don't laugh, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, no doubt. And we may do more of this in the future. But it's kind of, page not found. We may do more of it in the future, but, we've just, like Matt says, we're so inundated with just down to frickin' business content.
Dropbox?
What's that?
Did you have a problem with the link?
Let's see.
Check the Dropbox.
Which one are we looking? Flatulence. Let me look.
If you need to, it's sitting in Dropbox.
Because we cover everything here on Lab
There it
Meeting,
is.
and this is very
Apparently we do.
groundbreaking news. And
hey, on this topic, by the way, one of LD's favorite quotes in the last episode was, "Not like you in the Walmart."
Yeah.
We're going to tell that story eventually.
We are not ever telling that story.
We're on that topic. We probably won't.
I'll tell it when we're done.
So let's finish this. We'll just say proctophiles are said to spend an abnormal amount of time thinking about farting and flatulence.
Really?
That's what it says.
I mean, I enjoy ripping a good fart.
Oh, I do too, but I don't want to hear chicks rip ass and get excited about it.
A good dry one, a good dry one that just kind of makes you feel like about an inch thinner in the waist.
Dude, so I told you, the maturity level. I got to keep this serious, dude. So,
gives me a new idea for some videos.
Just get this. What did you guys call that stuff in the wacky
whack?
The wacky foam?
Oh, wacky foam.
Yeah. That was the kids. It's all kidding.
It's
fine.
sunscreen.
Sunscreen is called wacky foam,
but it's foamy.
Yeah, foamy.
So anyways,
rub it in. We're calling it your whacking foam.
So, dude, here must be this guy. You know, sitting there with his chick. You know, no, just sitting there with his chick, just going. Yeah, he's got his wacky foam in his hand. He's like, "Hey, baby, what's up? You know, and how you been?" And all of a sudden. Oh my God, baby! Oh my God!
You know what?
Do it again,
dude. I bet you he takes his dates out to Mexican food every night.
She's like,
"Can I get you some more beans and tacos and asada?"
I'm not feeling so good over here. This is straight nasty.
Yeah, you need some more jalapenos.
She's like, "Why have you fed me beans the last 3 nights? They're good for you.
Hey,
they're good for you, honey. Just don't worry about
beans, magic fruit. The more you toot, the better you feel." Wait, hold on.
Yeah, you.
Because beans, the magic fruit. The more you toot, the better you
feel.
The
more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. Let's have beans with every meal.
Okay, so you both screw that up. So here it is. Beans, the magic fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. Sweet beans with every meal.
That's what we just said.
That's what we just said, Jeff.
Well, yeah, you threw something else in there over there. Yeah. I saw you.
Yeah, and you also like women that fart, but whatever.
Oh, my God, dude. That was some funny clips from back in the day.
That was hilarious.
How about we're going to wind this thing down, but we're still got just a little bit more for you guys. And grab a Blab seat if you want. Why don't you thank somebody up there? How about Jakey? Jakey, you've just been too quiet. I wish you'd just jump in more. Why don't you thank those patrons?
I'd like to thank Lee Gilbert of Rotherham, Great Britain.
Great Britain?
Nice. James McDaniel of Doral, Florida. He's a top-tier patron. And Mark Frank of Joshua, Texas.
Thanks, guys. They took action. We've talked a lot about patrons. Enough said. lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon. Patreon. Lurch, what does that do? Put a little what?
Puts a little fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank and keeps that motor running on down the road.
That is what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and we're going to start really winding this thing down, guys. There's a few Blab seat if you want to jump on and all that. Feel free. We've got one more sound clip. Let's go ahead. Now, we've had fun over the years really doing openers. And I try to, when I tell the guys, they still are good at bringing ideas and different intros and just showing the lighter side of us, guys. Some of them have been a little hot, so we put them at the end of the episode and gave a warning because not everybody, we get it.
Or sometimes we put it in the front and then you tell me we should have put that at the beginning and I got to go in and edit the episode and put it at the end instead of the beginning.
I'm already laughing because I know where this one's
going.
True
that.
I think that's the one that ends off the openers. I think that might be the last one.
It is.
Like I went in order, so these openers are from 1 to 100 throughout the time. And they just kind of go through there. They're different funny ones.
Yeah, sometimes we do.
End with one of the lightest ones, which is probably one of the funniest ones.
Yes.
And I picked the more PG version of that because that one did get a little raunchy. So I did stick with a little bit of the edited version, if you will.
Good. I get why. Yeah, that way we didn't have to put it at the end. And if you guys, the guys like it. And so as we go forward, you guys sitting in the studio and all the law-abiding biker guys listening, they like this stuff. They like to see the lighter side and the humor that we're doing. And so remember, and when podcasts come with some funny, or we've even done some serious poems. They really like those. So I have a poems page where when I get around to it, I do a really nice poem with music, something about the biker lifestyle and the depth of that. But all right, so these are funny openers, and you can thank Lurch, my producer, for putting
extraordinaire.
Producer. Now that's the one I'm having the problems with, buddy.
Is it really?
Funny openers. It's telling me that there's a page, and is it in Dropbox?
They are, but I don't think the whole thing is in Dropbox. So hold on.
What thing?
Well, I have them individually in Dropbox. I don't think I have the whole MP3.
Oh, dang, dude. I don't know why that's not
Move
working.
on to your next topic, and I will look on the laptop while you're talking.
All right. We'll see what we can do. So let's talk about real quick, and we'll wind this thing down, guys. We got the funny openers, and then we're going to let everybody go. And unless somebody else, we might have one more if they join the Blab seat. But other than that, we're just going to go through. And real quick, before we talk about, we've talked a lot about patrons. We'll talk just a little bit more about that and how we hope to continue to develop that. How about this there? BD Kane, why don't you thank some of the donations?
All right. But
Talking to your mic.
I can't read it because the TV's too far, so somebody's going to have to.
Jake, go.
Jay Samienta of Pasadena, Texas. He has a note to Happy New Year, guys, and keep up the good work. Richard, I think Pybus of Brewster, Massachusetts, and Stephen Baber of Sanford, North Carolina. Thank you very much, guys.
Jake, while I'm pulling up Dropbox, why don't you tell them to stop running and stop walking their dog and what link to go to and all that stuff?
No, you guys out there running, walking your dog, riding your bikes, driving your car driving your car to work, truck routes, whatever.
I love it, dude.
Hey, you out there walking your dog, your little fluffy poodle that you're so embarrassed that you have, but your wife made you have.
Exactly right.
You jogging with those neon shoes that are just retarded. And the only reason you're wearing them because you think they're cool. They're not. Who else?
Yeah. What do they go to? What freaking link? Are you serious? I got to walk you through this one.
www.lawabidingbiker.com.
Oh boy. Jeez Louise, dude.
Sorry,
I'm
man.
and I'm trying to do 10 things here, and I still got to just hold your freaking hand.
You gotta lead me through it.
That is what
What are you waiting for, Bikaholics?
That's what makes the
Get
thing.
out there and ride. Is that what?
Mount up.
How many times have you freaking heard this, Jakey?
Yeah, it's a few.
It's so funny though.
It's
That's
coming
what,
at a different time of the podcast. I'm not used to it.
that's what makes it funny. Now, which one here, Lurch?
It's the MP3. It says funny openers MP3, right? Lower. That. Nope. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Bang. Hit it.
All right, so here's some funny openers over time. You guys will really enjoy this. So stick around with us a little longer, and and then we'll wind it down. But you'll definitely appreciate this.
You are listening to the most glorious law-abiding biker podcast. Come here for all of your motorcycle tips, techniques, and reviews. We talk about motorcycles, apps, movies, media. We talk about it all.
Oh, dude, that was sweet.
I think it turned Irish there at the end.
That was awesome, dude. That was awesome. The Law-Abiding Biker Podcast cures fits, colds, coughs, runny nose, makes conception a wonder, and childbirth a pleasure. The Law-Abiding Biker Podcast.
Only from the one and only Oscar, dude. I'm looking at Popeye. I know he wants to do it.
Do it.
You know you want to do it, bro.
Do it.
All I got to do is This is all I got to do.
Oh, yeah. I can see him feeling
He's
it.
feeling it.
He's feeling it.
Step back, folks. Watch out.
It's feeling good.
Watch yourself.
Harley Davidson motorcycles. The only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon.
I love it. Dude, I'm saving that one. I'm going to cut that out and put it on my soundboard.
I bet you are.
That is freaking sweet.
I bet you are. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. You do that again, I'm out of here. I swear to God.
What happened?
It smells like in here.
Why?
Because your butt opened for about a half a second.
Okay, well, that was not me, dude.
Did you know
that was not me?
Did you notice you didn't hear it?
Well,
when he farts, goes.
That's why he goes, hey guys, hurry, put the headphones on. Let's get ready.
Something like that.
No.
All right, let's get this thing going. Ready?
I don't know if I'm ready. It stinks so bad.
You guys are so
you ready, guys?
Ready.
Here we go.
On the seventh day, God rested, and he was happy. He looked down upon his creation and knew that he did good. God also recognized that on occasion Eve would talk too much. So God created motorcycles. God wanted to increase Adam's enjoyment of the motorcycle, but knew that he was all alone. So shortly in the late afternoon of day 7, God created the Law-Abiding Biker Podcast.
Beautiful. If you want to be happy for a day, drink. If you want to be happy for a year, marry. If you want to be happy for a lifetime, ride a motorcycle.
There you go.
Oh, here we go.
You know what?
Yeah, there's always excuses.
Shut up. Who invited you over?
I invited myself.
Apparently.
I turned on Sesame Street. I said, oh, phew, Sesame Street. This is much better because now he'll learn how to count and spell. But now I'm watching it as an adult and I realize Sesame Street teaches kids other things. It teaches kids how to judge people and label people. That's right. They got a character on there named Oscar. They treat this guy like shit.
It looks just like you, Oscar.
They judge him right in his face. Oscar, you are so mean. Isn't it, kids? Yeah, Oscar. You're a grouch.
Check.
Check. 1, 2.
Check.
How's your
my gainers are pretty good.
How's your earphones there?
Mine are good.
Okay, Oscar.
Mine sound nearly perfect.
You want them up a little bit or not?
Nope, they're fantastic.
Okay.
Check.
Test.
Is all this really necessary?
Yeah. It's important.
Check 1, 2. Test. Check 1, 2.
Check. Am I supposed to be saying that too?
No, I'm just testing the
okay, I wasn't sure.
levels here.
Jeez. You show up late and you're out of control.
So we're going to start this podcast off with a little limerick, a little something to enjoy while you're tipping back your whiskey. So I know that my good friend Jake Justice here to my right, stage left, also has some limericks and some skill when it comes to limericks. So here's mine, and then Jake will give his.
This is like a wrap-off, but it's a
limerick off.
A limerick off, okay.
Here's to the girl in her bright red shoes. She lost her cherry, now she has the blues. She doesn't give head, and that's a sin. But she still... I screwed that up. But she still has the box. The cherry came in.
And that was a great accent, dude. That was awesome.
I was concentrating on my accent too much. I forgot what I was saying.
Can Jake do it with an accent?
I don't know that I can do it with an accent. This is more of a toast, guys.
This is ridiculous.
Here's to the breezes that blows through the treeses, that lifts the skirts above the kneeses. It shows the spot that's so red hot. It teases, it pleases, it spreads diseases. Oh, Jesus. What a snatch. Down the hatch.
What do you think, Ryan?
This is, I have to give it, oh God. I give it to Jakey.
I think that's fair.
I have to.
Especially since I screwed up the delivery on mine.
That was ridiculous that we're even starting like this, but I love it.
Well, I loved your accent. Should have carried the day.
You're right.
The more I drink... Nope, I lost it there.
See, you were doing good, though. When you listen to this back, that was good.
Sometimes I can do it. It helps when I got a couple of cocktails in me.
When you have some whiskey in you, you turn Irish.
When I was a young lad, grew up in the hills of Kilcary, I started drinking Irish whiskey as a young boy.
Glenfinnan.
Glenfiddich.
I think we should frickin' do a podcast here, you morons.
All right, let's do it.
We haven't done a funny one in a while.
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
We did last night.
That's what I'm saying.
Matt did one, the podcast episode before. Jakey did one last night. Rick did one last night. So, yeah.
Holy cow, you got a bunch of dudes here.
Yeah, well, not Matt last night, but Rick and...
Rick and...
but we did 2 episodes, so they each came prepared. I said, come with something funny, and Matt always comes up with poems and crap, and so whatever, dude, just, look up biker poem or something. I don't care. Right. Not right now, but...
I'll have something funny later.
As you all know, we're heard around the world in 140
Big
plus
Daddy's coming up.
countries. We get emails from all over the world. We love hearing from bikers. This is a special message from somebody abroad.
Hello, Ryan and Lab crew. I just got to Triumph a few weeks ago and found your podcast. And I noticed that your recent love poems were absolutely fantastic. I actually have my own podcast here in the UK that's called Literacy Love. And I'd like to take a moment just to share with you a poem that I recently did. It goes like this. It's true you were a virgin until you met me. I was the first to make you hot and wetty. You tell your parents that we're going out, but never to the movies, just straight to my house. You said it yourself, you like the way I do it. So put your mouth on my private and suck my butthole too. 'Cause me so horny.
Dude, I can't hold it because it's so serious. Oh my God, I'm going to wet myself dude. Oh, Jesus, we're never gonna get this done. You were on a roll too, dude. Is that it? Is that the whole thing?
That's the whole thing.
Oh my God, dude. All right, Matt can just edit that when we start laughing, dude. That's good. All right.
You want me to try one more time?
I think you should, because he laughed in the last sentence, and it needs to be serious for me. So
Yeah, I can do it. Just don't look at me.
I'm crying, dude. Tears coming out of my eyes. Oh my God. The music is perfect. What's the last part? Put your lips on my butthole.
Yeah, let me get it out.
How do you freaking... Oh my God. Whew. Okay.
You were laughing so hard you couldn't even talk.
I couldn't talk. And I'm literally sitting here live crying. It brings tears back to my eyes because I just, and I know Jake's laughing just as hard. Oh my God, that was just freaking hilarious stuff, man. Oh boy, it's a little hot. What do you think about that?
A little hot in the cans.
Oh. Yeah, dude. We've laughed a lot over the years. Just getting ready here, but I've laughed a lot over the years, but that was one of the ones that just put me over the frickin' edge. We're going to wrap it up here in just a second, but I just want to thank a couple patrons, guys. A couple more. Joe Garcia of Edinburgh, Texas. Wesley Gilmer of Omaha, Nebraska. Top tier, Wesley is. That is right. Thank you so much. Don McReady of Dayton, Ohio. Thanks so much. You guys are awesome. You became part of the patron community. lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, and they got involved. And we appreciate you taking action. We've talked so much, and we've had patrons in the live Blab seat. Let's wrap it up here, guys. You know, we're not going to get into anything more, really, except that let's just do a roundhouse real quick, and then we'll close it down, guys. If anybody wants to grab a last seat, we would have time for one more quickly, and that would be it. So let's talk just any thoughts about the patron community, or any, just like a little basic, where we came from, where we're going, best memory, just a little, maybe 30-second to 1 minute round table. And then we'll close it out of your experiences with Lab and maybe what it's meant to you. Who wants to start?
I think we should start with the host first.
Okay. Well,
or do you want to wrap it up?
No.
Why don't you wrap it up?
I don't care. Either
wrap
way.
it up. Hey, lock it up.
All right. Do you want me to go first or last?
You should go last.
Okay.
So I'll start off if you guys don't mind.
This is Lurch.
Do not mind.
Lurch, the one and only. This started off as just three guys having a hoot on and doing some recording, and then we started bringing in the rest of the club in, and the rest of the Lab guys. And I don't. Maybe you knew it would go somewhere in the beginning. I didn't know if it'd go anywhere. I mean, it's kind of funny, especially listening to it. I remember when we had our first 10 podcasts, and I pulled one up and I let my wife listen to it. She goes, "You guys are retards." I put
rightfully so.
I put the podcast deal on her iPad. I said, "It's kind of funny. Listen to it." So I made her listen to a couple of them. And knowing us and knowing you and knowing Ed, she just goes, "You guys are retards," and she's right. We are retards, and it's amazing that this thing has taken off like it has. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that Ryan puts in just an inordinate amount of hours making it work, and everybody else helps out. But I'm humbled by the fact that people enjoy what we're doing, and so that now that we know that people are listening and they're digging what we're doing, it just fuels me. It keeps me going. I want to do the videos. I want to do the podcast. I want to keep it going because people appreciate it. So it's just awesome. I'm humbled.
Well said, brother. Well said. Appreciate that. Who's next?
I can go next. We'll just go down the line. This is Jake. I guess for me, when I first started doing it, I didn't realize how out there it was. I kind of did it as an opportunity to get to know you guys better and to hang out, and it was just a lot of fun. And I've never been at a podcast that wasn't a blast. And it was, I guess for me, it's just, Ryan always talks about how, hey, I don't get to pay you guys. I really appreciate what you're doing. Well, I don't look at it that way. I feel privileged to be here because it's just, I have a good time hanging out with my friends, and that's the way I look at it. And looking at the patrons, freaking getting giving the money to help keep this thing going. I myself, granted, I have access to all these guys that know everything about it, to Ryan's shop, whatever, but I've used the videos, and it's been a great thing, and I can see where it's really taken off. And
for me, I'm just glad that I can come out and have fun and have a few beers and a couple drinks and have BS on the radio.
Dude, that means a lot to me. And without getting all sobby here, but no, I do. All jokes aside, dude, we put in a lot of time. And when I hear things like that, because I don't always get to ask you guys, you keep putting in the work for me and you keep signing up to come over here. And I know it's a burden sometimes. And as a club, not only number one, and just as friends and doing this thing together, I'd like to someday be able to add more monetary value to you guys for your time. And I know the audience would like to do that too. And I think as we grow with patrons, that's a possibility. And, but it does, it grabs my heart, man, to hear you guys say that you just like being here and it's fun, because I don't want it to get to where it's not fun. I want it, we put out great content. We do our research. Jake's good at it. I mentioned that earlier, but we still have fun at it. We still put out content, but we still have a lot of fun in between and the openers and things like that. So awesome, Jake. I really appreciate, brother, publicly, for you stepping up to the plate and being here whenever you possibly can, man.
No problem. Anytime.
Big Daddy.
Well, I'll start with I'm getting verklempt.
I don't care.
All right, we do care.
I'm
we
getting
do care.
wetty.
Oh my God.
It was one of the funniest.
Wetty.
We've had a lot of funny openers with
What
Big
you
Daddy.
forgot about that though?
And he pulled that out of his ass one night. He's like, we should do this. I'm like, let's go with it.
Well, it was supposed to be, and then I say private's the first one because I was trying to make it sound like all literacy love, like all legit, like I'm a real scholar.
What is literacy love? I don't even know what that is.
Because my podcast is about the books and poems, and you love the literacy.
It's his own podcast.
Whatever, man. I don't know.
Subscribe.
You got one? Do I need to start listening to it?
You do.
I'm like, where did he come up with that? You can find that on the Law Abiding Biker podcast when we branch out and have several podcasts, which I imagine we will someday.
/ literacy love.
Literacy love, right next to butthole love and everything else.
Sorry to bogart in on your deal. Go ahead, brother.
That's funny
I'll start with, I want to give a big thanks to Law Dog, because he's the one that first started me down this pathway. He knew my dad. He came over one time because my dad wanted to introduce him to me. My dad knew that I was kind of a place in my life that I liked to ride, but I did. I had a few guys I liked to ride with, but they didn't like to ride like these guys. And so, Law Dog, that's a shout out to you for bringing me into this group. And what this podcast meant to me was a way to meet 7 guys because I think I'm the 8th. So it gave me a chance to meet 7 guys that love bikes as much as me. They love being together, and it allowed me to become part of a brotherhood that I'll never probably experience again in my life because I don't have a real brother. So I know that these guys would do anything for me, and this podcast just helped make that. So this podcast to me means more than just the fun part. It actually I look at it as it evolved my whole relationship with you guys.
Dude, I just want to hug you right now, and I'm serious.
I do. Go over there. No,
I'm going to. I'm going to give Big Bro hug when we're done.
Yeah, it is. We're going to give bro hugs all the way around, guys. Yeah, look at all the claps on that. Yeah. So I'll finish it up. BD, everybody, really, it grabs my heart. I'll just say that, no, I didn't know where it was going to go. I know that when I do something, I do try to do it right. Lurch knows that.
110%, man. You're all in all the time.
All in. If I'm going to do something, I don't like to fail. And I don't feel like I failed at all. And it's went well above my expectations. But like Lurch said, I put in just a unbelievable, more than most people would be willing to put into something like this. But I realized the power of it, and I realized all the connections I made because of it. I realized all of us sitting here, how closer we become. Yeah, we have a club, but aside from the club, because this is kind of a separate entity, obviously, aside from the club, we definitely wouldn't get together this much. And I've always said that. It brings us together. It forces us to get together. We got to put out podcasts. It forces us to have a beer together. It forces us to converse about motorcycle stuff. It forces us to be physically in front of each other. And that's probably been, one of the best parts, aside, obviously, from meeting all the patrons. I never knew that it was going to be a thing where I actually met bikers, around the world, that I was going to, and then, forming it into a patron and a private Facebook group. That's all stuff that I'm just tried, guys. I didn't have a plan for that. Nobody taught me that. I was just like, how can we build this community, which I continue to want to build into the future? And there's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of input. And, and things that we may try, just like this, just like Blab, guys, we've found a new platform. We think you guys like it, and we're going to continue to do that. Whatever makes you feel like we really want you to feel, because you are what makes us. We put in a lot of work and behind the scenes and stuff, but at the end of the day, if we don't have an audience, we don't have a platform. And we want this to be almost like a big law-abiding biker club, so to speak, if I can use that as an example, that everybody is a part of for the greater cause of the law-abiding biker community, because we really need a voice. And it's sad that the 99%ers before this didn't have a voice. And I feel like all of us here have brought the motorcycle majority, the 99%, to the forefront to say, we're not going to just stand by anymore. You know what? We are the ones out on the roads. We're the ones riding. We're the ones in the clubs. We're the ones that matter. We're the ones that actually buy shit from motorcycle companies. We're the ones that we sustain the motorcycle industry, this very the law-abiding biker community. We sustain the motorcycle industry. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't exist. And so we needed to, I just saw that. I was like, we need to step up and have a platform. And you guys are part of that we can reach out and let these companies know that, we're a big group and we're really who you should be focusing on. And we do have a voice and we do care. And, we want to be treated, in a different way than just throwing stores up online and things like that. That, you know what, we have a lot of time and a lot of money and we're passionate about our sport. And that's why we appreciate, and I know BDK knows that about sponsors stepping up. That tells us something about a company. And we've had some offers and we won't take them. We're going to continue into the future. We want to keep it real, guys. But at the same time, you all know we have to monetize for the amount of hours we're putting in. That is the way this system works. That's the way the United States and the rest of the world works, is you get compensated for your time. And so, of course, we're trying to do that to a certain extent, but it's not obviously to that point yet. And we're trying to do what we can in other areas to monetize and things like that. But the patrons obviously are the biggest supporters and help us, like Lurch said, give us a vision into the future and what we can do, what services we could provide and things like that. I just appreciate each and every one of you out there, whether you're live via Blab or whether you're listening in podcast format or what you're watching the YouTube videos. The amount of interaction is what makes this platform stand alone from all other motorcycle platforms, is just the simple amount of actual interaction and engagement that we have. And I accredit to everybody out there. I credit that to you for being involved and realizing that each one of you has an integral part in developing this platform and taking it into the future. And we do listen to what you say, and we always trying to tweak things to make it better for you guys, the end user. Did I say enough?
You said enough, and you said it beautifully, and I appreciate what you said, sir.
Well, thank you very much. With that said, guys, I think it's time to wind it down. That was a great live episode. Who wants to, I got it up on the screen there. Anybody want to give it a whack? If you've listened to you've all been involved. Anybody want to give the closing? Trying to give it a whack?
Jake's going to do it.
Oh, jeez.
Just put him on the spot. Are you comfortable?
No, he's not.
All right.
If you need a cell phone or GPS motorcycle
Call
mounting
to
solution,
action, yes.
This is a call to action, all you law-abiding bikers out there. If you need a cell phone mount or GPS motorcycle mounting solution, we got you covered. Get the Biker Gripper. It is the sexiest, the sleekest, the strongest cell phone mount and GPS system out there on the market. Use it to mount your cell phone, your GPS device, your radar detector, your EFI tuner, your Trolltron spanners, your Glock 17, whatever you need to get it mounted in. Check out there. We've tried it. We've tested it. It is approved by Law and Biker Crew. In fact, it's been, unfortunately, through a couple of collisions, because we are human too. And they survived. The bike got screwed up, but you know what? That Biker Gripper lived, and so did that cell phone. So
and it was
check it out.
Still a panty dropper.
Yeah.
They are available exclusively in the Law Abiding Biker store, shipped to you directly by a Big Daddy Kane. There are several ones to choose from. Take a look, see what you need. Chrome, black, universal, handle, grip, mount, whatever you need, man. Check it out.
lawabidingbiker.com/biker gripper. What's the Lab podcast hotline, Jake?
I can give you that. 509-731-3548.
How do they leave us an internet voicemail?
They can do that by www.lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail. You know the front part.
Yeah, that's right. All right, guys, get into that free Law Abiding Biker email club, lawabidingbiker.com/email club. We will send you emails. We will shoot you an email when we come out with new free content and keep you up to date. Don't forget, guys, to rate us in iTunes. If you can't help us financially right now, we get it. at least head over to lawabidingbiker.com/iTunes or /Stitcher Radio. Leave us a review. It's free. It helps more bikers around the world find us, bumps us up in the ranks so those very bikers can join what we call the biker revolution. You guys are awesome, and we got to get out of here. Thanks for being involved in this very long live event. Kick the rubber side down.
Shiny side up.
We're out like a trout.